May I request our dignitaries to please join us on the dais. Can we have a big round of applause for Shri A.K. Tiwari, Sir, Member PNGRB, Government of India. Welcome to Shri Anjan Kumar Mishra, Sir, Secretary PNGRB. Please join us on the dais, Sir. Shri Ashok Kumar, Sir, Director Marketing ONGC. Shri Pavan Kumar Gupta, Managing Director Pace Marine. Shri Ajay Sardana, Sir, President Corporate Affairs, Naira Energy. Shri Sandeep Jain, Sir, former Executive Director IOCL. Dr. Ranjit Mehta, CEO and Secretary General PHDCCI. And Dr. Jitendra Singh, DSG PHDCCI, to please join us on the dais. Before we commence, may I request everyone to kindly stand for the national anthem. Thank you.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you so much, and a very warm welcome to everybody to the Hydrocarbon Summit, focused on India's energy security in a turbulent world, navigating geoeconomics, supply disruptions, and the LNG future. And we shall be specially focusing on supply diversification, strategic reserves, LNG expansion, and enterprise risk management for India's hydrocarbon security. The global energy markets are experiencing an extraordinarily volatile phase, shaped by a combination of geopolitical conflicts, supply chain challenges, shifting demand dynamics, and the rapid transition towards a cleaner energy. Developments such as tensions in major energy producing regions, the imposition of sanctions, and change in international alliances have further highlighted the vulnerability of a conventional energy supply system. For India, which relies heavily on energy exports and imports to meet the growing demand, this volatility has elevated energy security from a purely economic concern to a critical component of national security. So, to talk about the current situation, and based on the previous event, which was a big success, we look forward to recommendations and discussions in the ensuing discussions today. And to start the program formally, may I request our CEO and Secretary General, Dr. Ranjit Mehta, sir, to kindly give the welcome address. Sir.
Thank you. Very good afternoon, everyone. Mr. A.K. Tiwari ji, member of PNGRB. Mr. Ashok Kumar ji, ONGC Director. Thank you very much. Mr. Anjan Kumar Mishra ji, PNGRB. And Mr. Sandeep Jain, former ED of IOCL. Mr. Pavan Kumar Gupta ji. And Ajay Sardana ji from Naira Energy. Dr. Jitendra Singh, Deputy Secretary General PHDCCI. Distinguished members from media, ladies and gentlemen. I think today's topic deserves a big attention because everyone is suffering from energy supply. India today stands at an intersection. One side, we are the fastest growing economy in the world. Secondly, I think we have to make sure that we have the energy security and how we are navigating the geopolitical disruptions, the supply chain disruptions, and at the same time, when we are growing, we need the energy. I think phdcci has, our hydrocarbon committee has timely organized this discussion. We'll be having the benefits of the views of PNGRB and distinguished panel who is with us today as to how we should address the various challenges that we have and how we can give our suggestions to Government of India. One thing is very sure that today I think Government of India is very, very proactive.
Ever since this crisis has started, we have got government directions that where we should give the recommendation, what are the issues of the.
We are getting a letter direction from government, Ministry of MOPNG, from DPIIT. All these things are coming. If industry has any issue, which of course people have the issue, we are getting the issues and real time we are sending it to Government of India and they are being looked at it. So we are very, fortunate. Today we have a government who is listening. We have a government who is ready to listen to the issues and they are ready to solve it. That is the thing. And I think that in this discussion, on behalf of phdcci, we welcome you all. And what we are really looking forward, we know what are the issues. We are looking forward some really
From the great minds, from the people who are so experienced in this journey. I think from them we are really looking forward to suggestions that we can give to Government of India.
ultimately we all have the challenges, we all have the issues. All that we are looking for is to know that what are the real solutions for that. Maybe that your feedback will definitely address, will be able to address big issues which the country is facing today. And I think hydrocarbon is one thing. When India is importing 85% of our energy from foreign, in that case, I think that hydrocarbon is going to stay here for many decades to come, I believe. Though India is also committed to net zero by 2070. We have a big plans of achieving 500 gigawatt of renewable energy by 2030. We have also committed to reduce our carbon footprints by around 45% by 2030. Despite all that, I believe that in these current situations, I think that coal and gas is here to stay, because ultimately we have to grow. We have to make sure that our industries, our 80 million MSMEs who are working day and night, they need to get the energy. They need to get the proper, reliable, affordable energy supply. So ladies and gentlemen, we once again welcome you all and looking forward to your suggestions. And thank you very much for joining us here. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir, for setting the context of our discussions today. And now it's our pleasure to invite Shri Sandeep Jain, sir, former Executive Director, IOCL, to share the industry perspective.
Thank you. Respected A.K. Tiwari sir, Anjan Kumar Mishra ji, both from PNGRB, regulator is here to listen. I am outside the system, free to speak. Dr. Rajneesh Mehta, Ashok ji, my dear friend from ONGC, Pawan ji, Dr. Jitendra Singh, other dignitaries on the dais, and my dear friends. Good afternoon to all of you. Definitely, as the caption says, that we are here in the most turbulent times as far as energy dynamics is concerned. Well, I don't think that in the recent history we have seen this kind of disruption in the energy trade flows, and that has impacted adversely not only our country, where we are actually concerned about, but the entire globe is in turmoil, I would say. So this is not only, I would say, a supply-demand issue, which has been created by this disruption, but this is a very serious strategic energy security concern for a country like India. Well, before I actually, because the beginning by Dr. Mehta, the first thing he said, suffering. I mean, yes, I mean, this is, in the peace times, I think this should not have been the opening line, but yes, we all realize that kind of times in which we are in, and we all have to find the solutions. That's true. But as far as India is concerned, I mean, you just this last 1 month out, but India has been consistently growing. The GDP in quarter 1, 2, 3, all around 8%, 7.8, 8.2. And the projections before this war was definitely we are going to end beyond 7.5 or around 7.8%, which is a phenomenal growth. And India has become the third largest energy guzzler, I would say. And because such type of GDP growth is not possible without energy. But unfortunately for us, the energy sources are, most of the energy sources are, we are import dependent on as far as energy sources are concerned. Barring coal, as far as oil and gas is concerned, the 85% dependency upon imports, and for gas around 50% dependency on exports. Right now, the energy consumption in the country is around 950 million metric ton of oil equivalent, and likely to be around 1500 in 2040, and we all talk about 2047 nowadays, New India and Developed India by 2047. This is what our Honorable Prime Minister says, and the energy is going to touch around 1800 million metric ton of oil equivalent by then. Now, from where this energy is going to come? I mean, this is a big question. This is $1 million question on which all the oil companies, the regulator, the ministry, and of course our private companies, even all the citizens, all of us are concerned about that. And when disruption like Strait of Hormuz it happens, then the entire planning, the entire strategy book goes haywire, and that is what has happened to us. Well, Middle East has been a major energy producer for the entire globe, and this narrow marine pass of Strait of Hormuz, it carries around 90 to 80% of energy which is produced in Middle East, barring East-West pipeline which opens in Red Sea, around 5 million barrels per day. Barring that, the entire flow is, and barring another pipeline of Fujairah, where around 1.8 million barrels per day is, of crude is flowing. The entire flow is from this very narrow pass. And around, you can very well imagine that around 100 to 104 million barrel per day of crude is consumed, and out of which around 20 to 21 million barrel flows from Strait of Hormuz. For any disruption in Strait of Hormuz, you can say that 20% has been literally wiped out. And as far as gas is concerned, the major producer is Qatar. Around the total consumption, the total energy which passes in the form of LNG is around 11.5 BCFD, which is equivalent to around 85 to 90 million metric ton per annum. I mean, the 20% of LNG, 20% of crude, as a rough calculation, flows from the Strait of Hormuz, which has got cut off as of now. And if the situation which it seems that it is going to continue for quite some time, because both Iran as well as US and Israel, they have reached the dead end to my mind, though America many times has announced that they are going to walk away. I don't know, I mean, they might be, I think, waiting for someone to declare them winners, and then they would walk away. So this is not going to happen soon. But a prolonged closure of Strait of Hormuz, now today's statement is very dangerous. America says that they will declare themselves winners and they will walk out of the war, but at the same time, without bothering whether Strait of Hormuz is open or not. So it's a very dangerous situation. And if it's a prolonged closure of Strait of Hormuz, you know what it can lead to? It can lead to the prices of crude and LNG going further up. They've already crossed 100, around 117 is the price of crude, and you imagine it touching around 150 to 200 USD per barrel. And likewise, LNG is also going to go up from, it was 9 before that, 9 to 20s is something which we are seeing now, and touching $40 per MMBTU. I mean, and what will it lead to? It will lead to demand destruction. And what demand destruction will lead to is the economic depression. So we are actually moving towards, I would say, Dr. Mehta, that the real suffering is yet to come if this situation continues. Now, coming to Indian perspective, India is also largely dependent upon Strait of Hormuz. Our 90% LPG, imagine, I mean 90% of LPG comes from there, 90% of imported LPG. So around 32 million metric ton is the consumption, out of which only 14 million metric ton is produced in the country, and rest 18 comes from, out of 18, 15 to 16 comes from Strait of Hormuz. Now this kind of cutoff is actually creating turmoil in every household, I would say. And as far as crude is concerned, we are better placed. I am connected, though I have superannuated, but I am connected with the industry. We have done well as far as crude is concerned. And in fact, in last few years, we have diversified our crude basket from few grade of crude to 40 grades of crude. So now we, and after this exemption from OFAC on US sanctioned crude, we have hurriedly tied up Russian crude, and the position of crude is as of now comfortable, but not in case of LPG. Whatever we say, I mean, LPG is still something which we need to work upon. And as far as gas is concerned, yes, we have implemented some cuts. We are ensuring that CNG, PNG is 100% maintained to all the households. Fertilizer is maintained at 70%, so that fertilizer is also like an essential commodity. And but at the same time, the cut has been on the industry. So like I was discussing with one of my former colleagues in gas, he said, sir, demand ही नहीं है. मैंने कहा साला टैप बंद कर दोगे तो डिमांड थोड़ी रहेगी. डिमांड तो है, लेकिन टैप हमने बंद कर दिया है probably, because the issue with us is that it's not available. Qatar has already declared force majeure. From where the LNG will come? LNG, if we need to import, it is coming at $20 per MMBTU. And yesterday's Indian Oil tender, I understand the offer which has come is 30. JP, can you imagine? I mean, $30 per MMBTU. And of course, Indian Oil and GAIL both cancelled their tenders. So what we need to do, I mean, I'll not take much time, it's a very long, all the dignitaries are sitting over here. Only 4 or 5 things which I think we should do. One is diversify the sources, diversify the geography. We need to move beyond the Strait of Hormuz. We need to look at Russian LNG, be it a sanction. जब घर में आग लगी हो तो हम शायद ये नहीं देखते कि फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर चाइनीज़ मेड है या इंडियन मेड है या ऐसी कंट्री से बना हुआ है जो हमारी फ्रेंडली कंट्री है. So I think we need to look at Russian LNG for diversification and other sources, and we need to look at our contracts also. We are mostly dependent upon Brent-linked contracts, but we need to go beyond that as well. And then there are other strategic reserves. I think ministry is talking about strategic reserve of LNG since long, but I think time has come that like we have created strategic crude reserve, we need to create strategic reserve in case of LPG as well as in case of LNG also. A push for CNG and push for PNG, that is very important. I appreciate, I mean, this has been a long pending demand, Tiwari Sahab. and Mishra ji from PNGRB also to Ministry to take out this executive order which has now come up. I mean, but better late than never. Now, but we need to push it. We need to implement it. Execution is gonna be the key, but execution has to be smooth. It has to be customer friendly. You know, I mean, wherever LPG is available, wherever penetration of PNG is there, LPG will not be available. And it's a very good executive order which has come. The second important pain point which has been addressed by this executive order is, gazetted notification is, that all the municipal authorities have been tasked to give the permission within a specific time frame. Otherwise, it will be considered as permission granted. क्यों नहीं हमारी लाइनें पड़ रही हैं? Pipelines क्यों नहीं आगे बढ़ रही हैं? Because of the hindrance, because these authorities, they create hindrance. So this gazetted notification is a very welcome step which has come. And other than that, yes, definitely we need to be very confident about the way our country is working. You look at your neighbors. I mean, what's happening in Pakistan, what's happening in Bangladesh. Dr. Mehta, I am connected with the industry. 3-4 days back, I got a call from someone in Pakistan through somebody sitting in Dubai. पाकिस्तान को एक LNG कार्गो चाहिए. मैं कहा साला मैं क्यों दूं यार LNG कार्गो. बोले कि इंडिया में तो बायलेटरल, यहाँ हम बायलेटरल नहीं लेते हैं, टेंडर सिस्टम फॉलो करेंगे. ये इंडिया की एपैथी है. टाइम टू लुक एट अवर सिस्टम्स एंड सिस्टम ऑफ प्रोक्योरमेंट आल्सो. बट पाकिस्तान एक LNG का टैंकर जा रहा था, उसमें इट वाज टर्न्ड बैक एंड दे वर इन डायर नीड ऑफ LNG. बट fortunately we have managed well, and kudos to our ministry as well as PNGRB people who are sitting over here. Not that they are sitting and my old friends, I am talking about that, but yes, definitely they have done a commendable job, and I know that we will eventually come out of this bad situation. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing the current scenario with us, sir. Now it's our pleasure to invite Shri Ajay Sardana, sir, President Corporate Affairs, Naira Energy, to share his thoughts with us. So.
Good afternoon, everyone. My co-panelist and respected delegates. So, as earlier speaker was telling that there is a lot of opportunity in this crisis also, and being in industry, I am purview to that we have the most proactive government as of now, who is working even on Sundays, midnights meetings are happening. And today also I am just coming from a meeting where DEA Secretary, our MOPNG Secretary, DPIIT Secretary and advisor to PM Mr. Shashikanta Das was there. So you can imagine on a working, on a holiday, all key people interacting with the industry and trying to find out the solutions. You can see the speed of the ministry now, how many orders have come in last 15 days. Very frequently they are issuing the proactive orders, and they are consulting the industry even on Saturday, Sunday. Our nozzle sale is being monitored, state after state, district after district. So many reports recently we have started which will build a lot of data, and reduction in this excise duty, which is a very timely step. As sir was telling that Pakistan, we see our neighbors and others, prices have gone up for the consumers 30 to 50%, while we are maintaining the same. So we have been giving suggestions to the government which are getting implemented at a very rapid pace, and I would say that this crisis has expedited that process. Those decisions which were pending for long, like laying of the pipeline, approvals, now the ruling has come that within 48 hours, if it is not there, it will be deemed approval. So all these things will eventually increase India's self-dependence. And I would say that the decision of the India to blend 20% of the ethanol, that has been a really big boon for the industry and the agriculture department. So now we are under the discussion that it be increased to 22%, 25%, 27%. Brazil is at 27%. So this is definitely a tough time, as we know that we are import dependent on our crude and other aspects. But a lot of positive things are happening. Now the focus is towards the pipeline, PNG, wherever we have duplicate, like recently Secretary was telling earlier, Without OTP, LPG was being given was almost 60%. Now it has come down to only 20%. So a lot of black marketing which was happening earlier will now be not there, because until unless the consumer gives the OTP. 25 days timeline has been very scientifically for rebooking consumed, seeing the last 5 years average data, the average consumption. So people were misusing getting it. So many actions are happening, and I am purview to that even at 11 some messages coming from ministry, PPAC, this data is required, that data is required. Everybody in government is very proactive, and it's a time to work together, and we will be definitely out of this crisis much stronger. And with industry and associations, as I say, PhD also has been continuously representing our issues. So I'm thankful to the team over there. And whatsoever suggestions we have, we always send it through our organizations and through the association, and they are looked into that. It's not that whenever we are sending, whether through email or even now on WhatsApp, they don't wait for the emails also to come. Any information required, secretary sir send us WhatsApp, we reply on that. So that is the speed of the action. So we are fortunate that we have a very dedicated team in MOPNG and PNGRB and PPAC, which is helping the situation. So I am very sure that we will pass this tough time, and we will come up with the flying colors in this time. Thank you.
Thank you for your positive thoughts, sir. Now we would like to invite Shri Pavan Kumar Gupta, sir, Managing Director, Pace Marine, to kindly share his recommendations with us. Sir.
Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, my co-panelist, Sandeep ji, and all the delegates. I think Sandeep ji made a good start with what challenges we are facing, and I will limit myself more into the shipping side. I'm on the shipping side of it, so I will try to limit to the shipping side. That we all know what's happening in Strait of Hormuz. Many of my ex-colleagues, and I'm ex-Nakilat Qatar guest myself, so I keep getting a lot of updates about what's happening in Doha and in Qatar. So it's not really a good situation. A lot of people are suffering. Qatar, though they officially say they are down by 17 to 20%, but yes, what I hear is they are down by nearly 30%. It's going to take a lot of time to get back on their feet. So whatever has happened, it's actually taken the world down by a good in the capacity by approximately 25%. Not only the Qatar, but in Kuwait as well as in with ADNOC UAE facilities as well. And shipping is also greatly impacted. We are not able to somehow manage do the logistics. So it's not only that the ships as such, even if they are allowed, there is one point I think everybody misses, is that the insurance companies have raised the insurance to very, very high. So when you are getting an offer of $30 per MMBTU, a good portion of that is the insurance companies, and where are all these insurance companies headquarters? I think all of us know, So it's still the insurance is all, controlled from US and UK. So sometimes it all looks like fixed, for many of us. So it's not only that, of course, logistic has gone high. Many of the ships are blocked there, but many are not able to go inside as well. So shipping as such, the freights have not gone drastically so high, and cargo availability, whatever it is that US is able to raise their output, I think that's also one of their main objective would have been for this war. There are other locations as well, but what is it's taking the time, the miles, per ton, that's taking, is really because whatever we were getting from Qatar was such a short distance, the 5th or 6th day we have the vessel at our coast. But now, if most of the LNG is coming either from the US or from Australia or from Nigeria, I think Mozambique is not fully ready yet. Mozambique will be a good boost for all of us. So it is taking time. I think situation, yes, thanks to the government, it's been managed just okay. See, I'm not going to be praising too much because I feel this is still reactive. We are not proactive, you know. So we are just managing, you know. We are not being, we cannot say that, you know, the government has done a fantastic job. No, they have not, because they have not thought about the strategic reserve. Why China is so ahead of us, you know. We do not have a single ton of underground storage, you know. I think we have fantastic guys here, intelligent people sitting in the government. Can they not think about it to have the strategic reserve? So I think it's good right now. The reactive actions have been good, you know. We are still quietly sitting here, not raising slogans and all that. So all that has been taken in control, okay. But it's not really what the people, the smart and intelligent people like us should have been doing. We should have had good strategic reserve by way of, you know, some underground storage, by way of our terminals, you know, our terminals, like I was, normally we don't keep a track, but we have like good 1.7 million tons of storage in this country, but we don't keep it full. You know, we are very price sensitive people. For us, everything is what we can sell, that much only we will take, you know. So we are for us, out of 1.7, we will probably fill it up only 1.1. You know, we'll keep rest vacant because we are waiting for the right price, and that right price never arrives. Okay. So I think it's very important. We need to think ahead of that. You know, government has to take some risk. And most of our PSUs, what they will do, they will be risk averse. They don't want to take risk. They don't want to take any price risk, you know. For them, everything is price. I think the government has to think beyond that, because you have to take some risk, have some storage with us, okay, and also, okay, now what to do? Can we build up the storage like that just so fast? Not possible, you know, because even the tanks, underground storage, all like 3 to 5 years project, some 5 billion, 6 billion projects. So what to do now? Okay, do we have any short-term measure with us? So what can be that short-term measure? Floating storage. You know, Dubai has a floating storage. Have you heard about it? Yeah. So Dubai is like, it's a LNG exporting country, but it also has one floating storage. So why Dubai has a floating storage? Because they also feel that during the peak demand and all, they are importing gas. When during the summer, when the ACs are running like, you know, at full blast, they are actually importing gas from Qatar. So I think we need to think like that. The government has a much higher responsibility. When I say government, automatically the PSUs come under that, you know. So they have a much higher responsibility that it has to be beyond cost, okay. So floating storage, we say floating storage is very expensive, you know, it's like $1.5 per MMBTU when you can have a land-based terminal at $1 per MMBTU. So why to go even that 0.5? But they don't see that these floating storage can be your strategic reserves, you know. So India is the only country where there is no FSRU. The whole world is booming on FSRUs. You see Europe, how they manage this Ukraine crisis. They put up 6 FSRUs within 1 year. Can you think about it? Getting environmental clearance and all those clearances within 1 year and have 6 FSRUs? You know, Germany, which was actually going into the World Bank that FSRU should be banned, and they banned, you know, that Wilhelmshaven FSRU was stopped because of their opposition. But now they have 6 FSRUs, and out of 6, 2 are not operational. But they don't trust now anymore Russian LNG or any other LNG. They still want to keep it as a strategic reserve. So I think we need to, I say we can only give ideas, you know, and we are marine people, marine experts. We can give marine ideas, but I think it's very important that the floating storage is given due respect, which is not given in India. When a country like Bangladesh can have 2 FSRUs, Pakistan can have 2 FSRUs, you know, why India cannot have FSRUs or even not FSRU, FSUs, floating storage. Just keep it as a floating storage. Then everybody will say there are 2 expenses of floating storage. One is boil off, okay, because LNG minus 163, it will boil off. So can we not manage the boil off? We can. You know, there are tricks to do that. Second is the crew cost, because FSU managing is like $7,000 to $8,000 minimum per day. But I think these costs become very nominal and minimal when such situation arrive. If we have sufficient strategic reserve, we will not pay $30 per MMBTU. You know? So I think we need to all think about it, and we should not wait for a such sort of a, you know, event to come and discuss like this. We should be working more proactively. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we would like to invite Shri Ashok Kumar, sir, Director Marketing, ONGC, to kindly share his thoughts with us.
A little correction, ma'am. I'm not the Director Marketing. I'm rather Executive Director, Chief Marketing. So, thank you, sir. I think it's a good evening. Good evening, everyone. My fellow panelists, my seniors on the dais and seniors sitting in front of me. Big thank you to all, because at least we have gathered here to deliberate and corroborate something. Sir, I am standing here in two capacities. One, as a petroleum engineer. When 35 years back, when I took petroleum engineering, it was something like, "Ye hota kya hai?" People used to talk electrical, mechanical, chemical and all, and I took petroleum engineering. My dad was telling, "What is this?" तो मैंने कहा कि भाई जमीन के नीचे से तेल निकालने का काम है. The geoscientific and the geology world and the petroleum world has now I've realized how important it is. This crisis will keep coming. I'm very sorry to telling it's not a one-time thing. The kind of the oil business or the gas always thrives on the geopolitics. This is the only industry जहाँ पे price determine जो normal economics वाली formula से नहीं होती है demand and supply से. It always follow a different pattern, mostly driven with geopolitics. So geopolitics will keep happening. And what is our situation? I, as a domestic producer, ONGC as upstream domestic producers, or taken together all the upstream players in India, we are only 10%. So 90% you are importing. So it's obvious you will keep facing these kind of troubles. So what my fellow panelists have told, in the time of crisis, we Indians thrives on chaos. जब chaotic situations होती हैं, Indians सबसे ज़्यादा successful रहते हैं. So in this crisis situation, we as a country has managed well, considering our neighbors and all. And government has also been proactive, and thanks to Tiwari sir and Anjani sir, they have done so many things. The last 8 to 10 days, so many gazette notifications were coming, it was surprising to us. But thankfully, all those are in the right direction. I'm just giving you some perspective. So this 10% and the kind of aspirations we are having for the country. We want to become, we are the third largest economy, and we want to become the number 1, number 2. नहीं होगा. 90% dependency रख के नहीं होगा. We have to improve our domestic production. And for that, we have to plan, strategically what we should do. 45 years back, we do not have much of the oil and gas. Then our geoscientists at that time thought of what India requires, and then we have a couple of successful endeavors. We got some good fields in the onshore, and the bigger one came in the form of Mumbai High. And still Mumbai High, after so many long years, is a flag bearer for the country. We need to find out another Mumbai High. This 10% dependency, your topic given is energy independence. Energy independence will never happen to us. We will inch closer to energy security. So from 10% domestic production, which we are having, if you are able to increase even by 20%, this 10% extra will give enough cushion for the country to survive in these kind of chaotic times. बड़ी सुबह उठते हैं सर, बड़ी अच्छी situations होती हैं कि every refinery giving me a call कि give us some oil. Why? The critical volume. The critical volume that is required to run their refinery. Jan sir, correct me if I am wrong. The HPCL and BPCL is the Mumbai part. They are connected to the pipelines. So we are giving it directly to them. The Koili in Gujarat or even in the northeast, the bare minimum crude volume is required to be there domestically to run these refineries and to avoid any chaotic situation at the pump. With this 10% only volume which you are producing domestically, this is really a tough time for all the refiners to keep running the show for the country. Am I right, sir? Yes, sir? That's it. So what we should do? Now I am standing here as a petroleum, I am telling you, India, we have a lot of opportunities. We have huge sedimentary basins. Tel hai, gas hai. In India, we have the oil and gas, good reserves there. Only thing we have to find out how commercially viable propositions can be made out of that. 26 sedimentary basins. Right now we are in the 7 we are producing, 8 we have just started producing, and 9 the Kerala side is just happening. Only 9 sedimentary basins we have explored. Another 17, something like that, is still unexplored. We have to think how to go for, exploration successes in these areas. The huge deep water, हम बात करते हैं Guyana की, हम बात करते हैं Petrobras की, they have also come, only, the Guyana came only in 2015. 2015, Petrobras 10 years back, 2000 or 2005, those deep waters come. We also have got deep waters, in Andaman, where we are exploring that. But if you see the east part, entire eastern coast of the India, we have the huge gas reserves available. And we can draw parallels when we see the Indonesian fields, when we see the Myanmar and all, they are rich in gas. We also have the gas. Reliance KG-D6, they did well. Because of some regions or other, the production has not come up to that level. Then we have 98/2. It has seen the success. We are producing in a good way. Another 2 projects are coming in East Coast. Reliance is also doing along with the BP KG-D2. This entire East Coast, if it is explored well, it will give enough of the gas for the country. And for that, I am happy. As an ENP company, the government has started thinking it in mission mode, the Samudra Manthan that Honorable Prime Minister has told. Okay, whatever we need to do it, but explore completely all our sedimentary basins, find out if oil is there or not, and if oil is there, how oil or gas both, how we can produce it. And if not, let's conclude it, finalize it, and sorry, we do not have that much oil, and then we have to go for the strategy number 2, so they should go for the imports or other energy, how to procure all those things. Japan model. They have decided on fine day they will not go for the exploration. And they are meeting all their energy needs through imports. And accordingly they have devised their, the country map, what they should do. So thankfully we are also now, through Samudra Manthan, we are putting a lot of focus on our deep water pursuits. That will happen, and that will give a good oil and gas volume. This confidence I am having as a petroleum engineer, and whosoever the geology and geologists in this part of the country, they will having the same confidence. Coming to the part 2, the matured fields. See, our demand 9 by 2050, our demand is going to 9 million barrels per day. Right now we are 5.6, 5.2. And this 5.2 demand, and the production is very petty, 7 lakhs. We are producing very little. And this production will further go down until unless we do something innovative in our existing matured field. And these matured fields, I'm talking about Bombay High or say Assam fields and all, they have the huge reserves still left. हमारी जो recovery factor है Bombay High की 30% है, 28%. The fields of that nature is having recovery factor up to 45%. So we still margin of 15-20% more from these fields. We have to bring the technology. We have to invest into those fields, and from those by those technological interventions, we have to see how we can improve our production numbers. The production numbers which we are having, say for ONGC 19 MMT, if we are going to do some drastic, I think technological interventions, we are very much sure we are going to improve it by good numbers. And that's why we have, you have gone for the TSP, technology service provider for the Mumbai High field. We have engaged BP as technology service provider. They are chalking out a roadmap for us, and they are telling us the field has a huge potential, and they will give number, which I'm not going to quote, but it's going to be more than 60% for the oil and 80% for the gas from the current production level. Similar kind of template, we are going to do it for another, our matured fields. The bottom line is where we are seeking partnerships, global collaborations, technology partnerships, to bring whatever is remaining there in our field, existing field, that we can produce, and that's doable. So all these efforts from ONGC side, upstream side, is to keep producing whatever big number you can have. We are coming out of that incremental numbers. We are thinking of how that big numbers will come. And for that, we have adopted, we changed our process. I told you BPA story one thing, and we are also inviting so many other players. So just don't want to go into the deep. हमारी country की हालत इतनी भी बुरी नहीं है, an oil and gas front, with a very positive mindset, with the right kind of partnerships, and with a better, investments paradigms, we are definitely going to improve our domestic numbers. Thereby, we will be at least live with some ease, because these geopolitics will keep happening repeatedly, and the kind of import-dependent nations we are, we have to really look inwards. हर नज़र उठ रही है तुम्हारी तरफ और तुम्हारी नज़र है हमारी तरफ. हर दिन सुबह में वो जो घर की औरतें हैं हमें ज़रूर गाली देती होंगी, देश में गैस क्यों नहीं है, उनके चूल्हे जलने चाहिए, एलपीजी और पीएनजी. एंड थैंकफुली गवर्नमेंट की जो भी मेजर्स हैं, जितने हमारे डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्शंस हैं, दैट ऑल मेजोरिटी ऑफ देम, 80% ऑफ देम आर गोइंग टू द सीएनजी एंड पीएनजी, and that is a cheaper gas. The other percent at all is the LNG is coming $30. The domestic gas is coming $7. तो घर में सस्ती गैस मिलती रहेगी, उसकी जिम्मेवारी सरकार ने ले रखी है. और एज ए स्ट्रीम कंपनी दैट नॉमिनेटेड फील्ड्स, we are committed towards that. And I am ending my talks with that. Yes, there are a lot of positivities. The current crisis has given a lot of opportunities. Government is putting down a lot of measures. Even the PNGRB, सर तो PNGRB तो अब एक ड्रॉप भी गैस जलने नहीं दे रहा है. इन्होंने अच्छी जो है ना प्लान्स बनाया है. They have asked for the numbers. Not a single drop of gas will get flared. Thanks Anjani साहब, आपके initiatives से those things have come. So we all are committed, and we are hopefully we will improve our production, domestic production number significantly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now it is our pleasure to invite Shri Anjan Kumar Mishra, sir, Secretary PNGRB, to kindly address the gathering. Thank you for being here, sir. Can we have a big round of applause?
Good afternoon. Dignitaries present on the dais, all the eminent representatives of various industries, ladies and gentlemen. So it's my pleasure to speak on this occasion, and as we can see that the timing of this conference is such that we are getting overwhelmed by the current geopolitical situation, and it is rightly so also. But we should not forget that this is the last working day of this financial year as well. So we have to begin afresh from tomorrow. So much has been already told on this forum about the current geopolitical situation, and I'm not going deep into that. But obviously, I am duty bound as a representative of the government and the regulatory board to speak about some of the things we have done in the recent few weeks, I can say. And as you must have seen the kind of control orders which has been issued by the government, and we all have been burning midnight oil to arrive at such major decisions. I can tell you that the control orders which you have got on 24th of March could be signed at 2 a.m. in the morning. So that was the kind of dedication the ministry was having, and obviously PNGRB is a part of that. It's a review meeting taking every day, every night at 9 o'clock we are meeting to discuss how the things are going. And there are situations which are beyond your control also, but at times the Ministry of External Affairs and then all the ministries included, they are working overnight to see the situation. And even the single boat and single ships are being tracked by the ministry. So which is passing the Hormuz and which is not, which is about to race, and we have the data of everything, whatever we are having. So this is this is emergent situation, and everybody will have to come to rise to the occasion to work on that. So one of the things which had come to the mind that the LPG situation, 90% of the things we have been importing, and I mean most of those 90% of the ships were passing through Hormuz. So we are definitely much affected. We are not much affected for the crude oil or for that matter LNG also. Now obviously LNG things will also start digging into deep. But so far the problem area has been LPG, and the obvious shift which was thought upon was to shift from LPG to PNG, DPNG wherever possible, and I think it is possible in most of our cities. So you at one hand you can say that this was not thought of earlier, but at the same time you must appreciate the fact that the government has started this thing way back around 2 decades back, and then the things have started doing. I mean, with the authorized area, we call the city gas distribution, though it has nothing to do with only the cities. It is to do with the complete mainland, and now we are going for Andaman also. So this was started some 8-10 years back, and those things are yet to mature. But at the same time, the government is thinking that wherever the PNG is possible, let us make them LPG free. And the Honorable Prime Minister has also decided that his constituency of Varanasi will be totally LPG free, and he has given a huge task, and GAIL India Limited has been working on that. They have been working. There is the kind of seriousness you can understand that the CMD himself had visited, CMD GAIL himself has visited Varanasi just a couple of days back. So that is the kind of seriousness we are having. So when the question of shifting from LPG to PNG is there, I mean, one of the things which has emerged that wherever the pipeline has gone, I mean the development of CGD infrastructure has taken place, we must expedite the connects. There are many, at this point of time, 1.65 lakh connection, 1.65 crore connection, around 1.10 is actually getting built, and 55 are dormant connections. So our first task was to convert those dormant connections into build connections so that the load on LPG gets shared. And then the next thing was to increase the rate of connection. Rate of connection is getting changed, and I can tell you that the rate which was prevalent just before the crisis, it has gone up to 5 times. But we are not satisfied. It has to go up to at least 10-15 times, so that there is some relief on the front of LPG is there. Because you must have heard in the news that the exodus of a second sort of a lockdown, nothing sort of lockdown is there, but you must have seen the pictures of laborers leaving their areas like Surat and even in some part of the NCR also. So those are very disturbing pictures. So PNGRB has been working on that front. Government has been working on that front. As one of the participants has told, Gupta Sahab in fact was telling about the reserves, strategic reserves. We had been working, and in fact the proposal from PNGRB has also gone, and the government was actively considering this thing. It was a story much before this crisis period started. We have started in the month of December. In fact, we had given a proposal much around 2-3 years back, but again a renewed proposal was sent in December 2025, and the government has started working on that. I mean, you must appreciate that this does require a huge amount of capital, and the financial model was being discussed. So it is not that the government was not thinking about those things. The only thing is that you may say that it has started very late, but it is just started. I can tell you that there are good number of reserves as far as liquid petroleum products is concerned. But the thing is that for LNG, I mean the natural gas, it is not there, but it's just a matter of time. It will be there. So as far as PNGRB's contribution goes, we have reduced the We have completely waived off the imbalance charges for the next 3 months up to until 2025, June 2026. And in fact, that will be serving as a pilot project. We will see that how the imbalance charges or waiver of that is going to affect the gas market. And we will see how the pipelines discipline gets affected. Then we have, thankfully we had started this PNG 2.0 drive in the month of January itself, and now we have extended it till June 26. So we are doing every sort of thing, whatever is possible from us. So we have been supporting the CGD industries in getting the clearances. Just 3 days back on 28th, there was a big meeting. You must be aware that the government of India, the Honorable Prime Minister has created 6 group of ministers, highly empowered group of ministers. And one of the meetings has taken place just 3 days back on 28th. That was on Saturday, where MOHUA, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, then the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, obviously, and Ministry of Food and Civil Supplies. Those 3 ministers were there. About 7 ministers from the various states were there physically present, and around 10 ministers were there on VC. Through VC they have joined, and it was discussed that all the municipal corporation that we have called, we obviously cannot call all the municipal commissioners of all the municipal corporations, but the 30 important municipal corporations commissioners were called. And I can tell you that 90% of the things had happened just one night back. Even calling the meeting, just before calling the meeting, whatever the permissions were required were given, particularly in the problem areas of Brihan Mumbai and Kolhapur and all those places, and from Ranchi to Tiruvananthapuram to Gurugram, everywhere the commissioners were asked to give the permission at a war footing. And this is a war-like situation for us also, though we are not participant of that war. And there has been created war room in the ministries, I can tell you. So for CGD and for DPNG and for the complete CGD industries, this period is a great opportunity to thrive on that. So we will definitely come out winner. There is no denial this fact. And as a nation, we have seen many crises. And as you know, the oil and gas, we always keep on saying that this is at the crossroads. I don't know when this crossroad is going to end. Every now and then we will be at crossroads. So we are very sure, and I wish that something emerges out of this conference which can be suggested to the government, to the regulators also, that if something further can be done to ease out the situation of this problem, then we will be definitely benefiting from this conference. So I wish everyone a very happy conference, and we will come out with this situation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now it is a privilege to invite Shri A.K. Tiwari, sir, member PNGRB, to kindly deliver the keynote address. A big round of applause for sir. Thank you for being here, sir.
So good evening, everybody. I think many things have been discussed here by the panelists, and you may be thinking that as a regulator I will say something different. Yes, definitely I will say something different. Crisis, this energy crisis is there, na? That is the agenda for the today's discussion. Why this crisis? Are we not responsible partly for this crisis? This is the question. Whether we have adopted the right policy, this is the question. Now, if you talk about the strength of our country, where coal is there, where we have renewables, potential is there, we have not harnessed properly. CBG is there, and also we have domestic production, and I think Ashok ji has given much confidence to me about the potential domestic production. So, present domestic production and potential domestic production which are there. If we could have adopted right policy, this crisis could have been avoided to a great extent, because we have mix of the energy and we have not followed consistent policy. Coal कोई अछूता नहीं है, we could have adopted with the energy efficiency and all these things, because we have coal reserve, we have solar. We have not done so in a proper way. In the villages, we could have our gobar gas plants also. We have not done so. Where 70% of the population is living in the villages, we have also tried to give them the LPG cylinder, and also giving them the dream of giving the piped gas. Is it the right policy? This is the number one question. I will tell the solution also, don't worry, right? Second part comes to, what is oil and gas? This is international commodity we are importing. 85% of the oil and more than 50% of the LNG and around 60% of the LPG we are importing. We have given our energy security to the Strait of Hormuz. Is it the right policy? I think not. And this crisis, I am quite confident that this crisis will definitely going to have the diversified policy for adoption of the various energy available in the country. This crisis is not more bitter than the COVID crisis. I feel so, because we have so many policies which are required, and as my colleague Mr. Anjan has told, that we have done so many things. So this is number one, that this is the international commodity. We have to always think, and we should not be more and more import dependent. This is one policy I think PSD Chamber of Commerce should have the paper submitted to the government, that at the cost to have the better price from the international market. I think that should not be the aim. We should utilize our own natural resources which is available in the country. So these are the two takeaways. Then comes to our various infrastructure initiatives which has been taken. You know all, I am not going to repeat, whether pipelines, authorization of the geographical areas are there or not, infrastructure expansion, giving the target to the CGD entities for PNG connections, CNG adoption and all these things, and the policy intervention or support by the government for their price, for various regulatory reforms which PNGRB has done, various tariff reforms which PNGRB has done for having one tariff and all. So I'm not going to repeat, I will come to the state where we are and what we should do to have the future, to have energy security in the country. So number one problem comes when we have adopted, we have authorized the pipelines. I think from the last 15 days, many times we see the circular or the control orders which are there, surprises us also that ये पहले क्यों नहीं निकला, निकल जाना चाहिए था, हम तो कह रहे थे. And if you don't have the spider net of the pipelines, I think the gas will not flow. And this control order, I think it will continue. And one thing I would like to share in this gathering, that from the last 4 years when I joined in PNGRB, we have started taking matters with the state authority, because I was knowing that state authority and state government, if supports this PNG and this natural gas mission or whatever the agenda is there, will be only fruitful. So now speed is very fast, and all our letters, circulars, requests which was there are being proactively considered and is being taken. So this is one part. Spider net of the pipelines are there, where the municipal corporation, where the state authorities has to support, and thanks that they have considered for giving the prompt permission and also reducing the permission charges, which I think will continue. This is one. One thing I would like to say that, yes, domestic production needs to be enhanced, and we have to accelerate in a faster way. But one thing is also important, that we have target of around 5,000 CBG plants in the country. If these CBG plants could produce the gas, possibly on a rough calculation, not 5,000, 4,000 or 3,000, our at present whatever the consumption in the CNG and PNG is there could be served. So this is one of the most important opportunity for us, and where I request the chamber to accelerate this agenda of having these CBG plants in the country. I was just discussing with one of the colleague here sitting that one of the village has adopted this gobar gas plant in Punjab, and they are serving the gas and then they are getting the manure. These CBG plants, whatever the way the gas is produced, whatever the residual would be there can be used as a fertilizer. So our dependency to use more and more urea could be reduced. However, some chemical or something, some treatment could be there. And further, the gas which are being used to produce urea and other things can also be relatively reduced. So CBG plant is one of the opportunity for India where we have not to have dependence on that. Third point I would like to say that there are, I will just say tier 1 cities and tier 2 cities, right? Tier 1 cities comes Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Kolkata, Pune, Ahmedabad, where the around 11 crores population is there. And if you come to the tier 2 cities, which are Lucknow, Jaipur, Chandigarh, Indore, Bhopal, Nagpur, Surat, Baroda, Coimbatore, Visakhapatnam, Patna, Agra, these are the tier 2 cities. Now, in these tier 1 and tier 2 cities, pipeline is there, and infrastructure is also relatively there. I could say that charge areas are also covered, and ring fencing or spider net of the pipelines in the cities are also more or less there, right? Now, the total population of these two are around, you can say, around 15-16 crores, and if we relatively take the total LPG which is being used there are around 4 crores. So why not we can make these tier 1 and tier 2 cities as a LPG free cities? This could be the one policy I think we can suggest to the government. कुछ नहीं करना, पहले यहाँ से LPG हटा दो, and whatever the surplus LPG is there, it can be used in the villages or the nearby areas. These cities could be declared as PNG adopted cities or LPG free cities. If we are doing that, 4 crores to 5 crores LPG cylinder can be released, and our import dependency could be reduced. Further, one mistake also we have done, that earlier there was LPG production by many of the plants, GAIL also and others also. We have stopped that, and in order to have the price, the sasta hai, we have been dependent on them. I think this is the where the, if we have to have our energy security and consumption in the kitchens, we should have our own production to have the energy security, whatever the prices are there. So I think one more suggestion should also go to the government, that we should have our evaluation to have our own LPG production in the country, whatever the cost is there. Whatever the cost is there. So I think this is also is going to balance that. So 4 things: our own domestic production, CBG plants, tier 1 and tier 2 cities to be LPG free, and also our own LPG production is going to mitigate this crisis. Besides that, there are few things which we can further do. Is we have renewable energy, solar, more and more we can adopt and we can use. We are blessed with the sun. हमें सूर्य से शक्ति मिलती है, तो I think we have forgotten that शक्ति. We must adopt the solar, whatever the way is there for energy, renewable energy. This is also there. One more thing can be suggested to the government, that why these cylinders should go to the jungles? Why so? Means there are some pockets where there are other ways of having the energy usage could be adopted by the villages, having the efficient way of using the wooden also. This is not bad. हम लोग उसी से खाना पहले खाते थे, अब हमें एलपीजी दिखने लगा. खाना स्वादिष्ट भी होता है, क्यों मैडम? होता है ना? So what there are some pockets where we can think of that this policy should be the remote places, villages, where we can provide them the old way of the chulhas, and in a efficient way. I was just discussing, there are the efficient way of low carbon emission chulhas which are available. So I think this is also one of the area where we can think of, not to give the cylinder with the OTP number and all these things. So this is where. So what I mean to say, that we have diversified way of energy availability. We can diversify our own, whatever the usage are there, give them the choice, and also have the policy stability, which are very, very important for having the energy security in the country. Last, I would like to share that पॉलिसी स्टेबिलिटी इज़ वन ऑफ द इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग. हम इधर उधर भागते रहते हैं, कभी हाइड्रोजन पकड़ लिया, हाइड्रोजन, नाउ कॉन्फ्रेंस टॉक इज ओनली हाइड्रोजन. व्हाई वी शुड टॉक देयर? लेट अस कंसंट्रेट व्हाट इज अवेलेबल हियर. सो फॉर पॉलिसी स्टेबिलिटी आई थिंक पीएचडी चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स कैन सजेस्ट देयर. ये करना ही है, इसमें कोई कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं है, वॉट एवर द कॉस्ट इज देयर. सो इफ यू आर डूइंग दैट, वी कैन come up these type of problems which are there, and this is blessing in disguise we can think of. This is also opportunity for us, this opportunity for the regulators also, this is opportunity for the policy makers also. We have done many policy reforms that Anjan has already told you. Permission and other things, even the PESO was not having, delaying the many permissions. They have also Ministry of Defense, restoration charges, all these things are there, and few agenda are also we are discussing to give more and more ease to the CGD entities and the pipeline operators so that they can do better. So thank you very much. I think some tasks we have given Jitendra ji, or let us work out and let us have concerted efforts to suggest the government. Thank you. Namaskar. Thank you. एथेनॉल तो बता दिया आप.
We have 2 more technical sessions, sir, where we'll discuss it. And can we have a big round of applause for Tiwari, sir? Thank you so much, sir, for sharing the alternate action plan. And now, as a token of appreciation, may I request Dr. Ranjit Mehta, sir, to please present mementos to our esteemed dignitaries. Thanking Shri A.K. Tiwari, sir. Can we have a big round of applause for our dignitaries, please? Thank you so much. Thanking Shri Anjan Kumar Mishra, sir. And thanking Shri Ashok Kumar, sir. Requesting Dr. Mehta to please present a memento to Dr. Singh to please present a memento to Shri Ashok Kumar, sir. Can we have the applause coming, please? Thank you very much. Thanking Shri Pavan Kumar Gupta, sir. And Shri Ajay Sardana, sir. And a big thank you to Shri Sandeep Jain, sir, from ISCL. Sir has been a big pillar for the PhD Hydrocarbon Committee for a long while. Thank you very much for being here, sir, and for your thoughts and actions. I'll request the panelists to stand for a group photograph before I request Dr. Singh to kindly give the formal vote of thanks, please. Requesting Dr. Singh.
Thank you, Bhavna. On behalf of phdcci, I present heartfelt thanks to all our domain experts, subject matter experts, especially Shri Anjan Kumar, Shri A.K. Tiwari Saab, Member PNGRB, Government of India, Shri Anjan Kumar Mishra ji, Secretary PNGRB, Shri Ashok Kumar from ONGC, Shri Pavan Kumar Gupta from Pace Marine, Shri Vijay Sardana from Naira Energy, Shri Sandeep Jain, our former ED at IOCL. In fact, this inaugural session, the deliberations that we listened, it shows that although there is a so-called crisis, but at the same time, we are also seeing, we are testing the leadership, we are also seeing the resilience coming up in terms of not only reactive but also proactive steps which is being taken by the regulators. Getting signed the gadget notification at 2 a.m. is self-explanatory that, you know, in which particular speed mode the government of India is working. So this is definitely a very, very congratulatory thing. And special thanks to Shri A.K. Tiwari sir for giving a very, very thought leadership perspective. In fact, sir will be putting up all these important suggestions, and we assure you that within a week's time, after collecting information, the suggestions from all our industry leaders, by this Friday itself, we'll be sending the action taken report that what are the important facts and figures or some important policy interventions are required to surmount this particular, the present crisis. Your special emphasis on using our own natural, you know, resources available in the country is definitely praiseworthy, and it's very thoughtful. We have to accelerate the CBG plants. The tier 1, tier 2 cities should be totally LPG free within a time. We will suggest that it should be totally, you know, LPG free in the time of 1 year itself. And your sir special address on, you know, advancing of renewable energy sources definitely will take a big boost. And at the end of the day, it's all about the policy stability. We have seen times that there's a lot of acceleration coming in one domain, and some of the things, they die their own death within another month. But we will ensure that we'll put up a very, very strong policy paper so that whatever policies are being framed, there's a total sustainability as well as stability for a long time. And special thanks to our sponsors, our IGX, our presenting partner, the exchange partner, HAL Offshore, and Unnati for supporting this summit. Thank you very much to all of you, and thank you to all our august audience for patiently listening to all our domain experts. Once we make this thought paper, we'll be sending the copy to all of you. We have your email IDs. We will seek your suggestions also, and we'll finally send the consolidated policy document to Government of India within next week time. Thank you very much indeed.
I'll request all the delegates outside to kindly join us. We are going to begin the technical session. Our first technical session is on upstream exploration and LNG midstream advancements, building secure and affordable supply chains. There are various topics of focus which are a part of the program which we've shared with you. And it is our privilege to have an esteemed panel with us for this. May I invite Mr. Rajiv Sikka sir, ex-CEO Indian Oil Adani Gas Private Limited, Director and Board Member IGL, to kindly join us on the dais. He shall be moderating the session. Requesting all our panelists, Shri Rama Shankar Pandey, former Executive Director ONGC and Directorate General of Hydrocarbons, Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Shri Sanjay Kumar Suri sir, founding partner and CEO, Future IT Advisory, former head Digital Technology and Cisco Bharat Petroleum. Shri Rexy Ravindran sir, President Bitumen Forum Chairman Rex Group. Shri Akhilesh Srivastav sir, Chairman of Organizing Committee World Economic Forum, ex-CGM NHAI, IT Advisor, Uttarakhand Government Road Safety Brand Ambassador as well, sir. And Shri J.P. Mishra, sir, CEO JPM LNG Consulting, to kindly join us on the dais. Can we have a big round of applause for our esteemed panelists? I'll hand it over to the moderator, sir, to take it forward, sir. Thank you.
I'll go there for him.
हेलो, गुड आफ्टरनून. क्राउड भी आधा हो गया और रिस्पांस भी आधा हो गया क्या? So I request the PhD team, chamber team to bring in people who are outside. Maybe they have gone for a quick 2-minute break. So meanwhile I can start engaging with people, and this is the right time to have this kind of conference. The crisis which has erupted and whatever is happening outside, but it is affecting each one of us. Even people, most of the people who are here, I assume, knows LNG, CNG, PNG, but people who were not knowing LNG, even they are trying to have a look, ये क्या चीज़ है? And they are trying to find out what is the difference between, say, PNG and CNG. And also it has affected most of the people in their own way. While I would say, because I have to give the dimension also, the effect of this crisis, what has been happening, people like us who are sitting in this room, we are privileged actually. But people who do not have still LPG cylinder in their own name, or small eateries who take LPG from here and there to survive their daily whatever earning, so they are literally stuck. So there is lot of what I would say commotion as well, and lot of uncertainty outside. So I'm sure I was hearing the part one, the opening session and the remarks, and whatever the panelists and the keynote speakers said. So the government is doing a lot of things. The internal domestic production is again being looked in a different way. The CGD industry is being again motivated to do certain more things, and similarly and so forth and so on. So each sector is being looked again. But like Mr. Tiwari said, most of these things are known to us. It's not new. So it's about policy stability as well. So in the background of these discussions and these thoughts, whichever I shared, we'll be having this discussion with my esteemed panelists. And let's look forward to the very engaging discussion, and so that PhD Chamber of Commerce can really collate all these suggestions and then take it to the next level. So with this, can we have your permission to start the session, please? Yeah, thank you.
So I now request Mr. Rexy Ravindran to share his views, and then formally I will engage with each one of you sitting. You can sit, we can talk, we can discuss, and whatever way. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, the panelists, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to touch upon some of the aspects which will be of interest to everyone. India is the third largest, maybe the buyer of petroleum products. India has got 250 million tons of refining capacity. And India requires only 190 million tons. Okay, we don't require 250 today. We might require in the future, but we require 190 million tons of refining capacity. We got 250 million tons. We export 60 million tons. So whenever the people say there's a fuel shortage, I say there's no fuel shortage. Okay, because India exports around 40 million tons of diesel, gasoline. Okay, we are supplying to neighbors. Why? Because we were supplying to Europe. Now Europe can't take it. At least our neighbors can have it. So we got a lot of diesel with us. We supply a lot of gas oil. And the best part is, I must thank the government, we were so wise. We used to buy crude from Russia and we used to supply diesel to Europe and Ukraine. You know, suddenly Trump got up and realized, ye kya ho raha hai? They're making money here. So he got very upset and said, how come India makes so much money here? So they started putting sanctions, what you call duties on us. Still we managed to get Russian crude. And we are exporting around a good chunk of diesel. We are exporting a good chunk of petrol. So petrol diesel का problem नहीं है. Petrol pump पे queue का गरज ही नहीं है. इतना diesel है कि we'll come and we'll keep the petrol pump open 24/7. इतना diesel है हमारे पास. So we export diesel, we export gasoline, we export ATF. दैट मीन्स केरोसिन. आज जो केरोसिन जो हमारे घर में चलता है तो वो भी हम एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं. वी एक्सपोर्ट नाफ्था. देयर आर 3 products which we are worried about. One is LPG, which I think we have been talking about, and we'll talk about today about LNG, LPG and all. We've got experts here, we'll talk about that. Second is, we import is base oil, which is used for lubricants, for lubricating your vehicles and all, base oil. And the third is bitumen, which is damper for the roads. Now damper don't bother, because if we are importing damper at cheaper than the crude price. Crude price $700 है, हम $500 में bitumen लेके आते हैं, 400 में लेके आते हैं, import करते हैं. So it is wise to import bitumen, there is no problem. But base oil and LPG, we have a problem. How do we solve this problem? I was thinking of the previous speaker touched upon it. So one more country we just overtook. We overtook one country and became the 4th largest economy in the world. You know which country we overtook? Japan. We overtook Japan. Now our previous speakers were saying we are importing 90% of our crude and 85% of the crude we import. Japan 100% imports. And there is no problem. They are very comfortable. They don't bother about these wars and all. They are very comfortable. They got 100% import करता है, फिर भी कोई problem नहीं, no tension, no queue, nothing in their petrol pumps, no gas pump, nothing. तो बोले कि जापान में क्या है इस चीज़ है यार, हमने उनको overtake किया है, and they don't have a problem. Okay, fine. Recently I saw even Spain, a country like Spain, telling that we will not allow US planes to overflow our space. Why Spain, such a small country, challenging the US? क्या हो गया स्पेन में यार? Then I found out कि Spain doesn't depend on this energy. 50% of Spain's energy is renewable. So they don't give a damn तुम क्या करते हो वहाँ पे. हम तो independent है. Japan, they are depending on energy like nuclear energy and what you call renewable energy. But the main thing which Japan has got, which we don't have, is SPR. This is one of the subjects in today's thing, that is Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Okay. Now the International Energy Agency says that any country who imports crude must have 90 days of storage space, storage capacity. How many? 90 days. This is recommended by the IEA, which is supposed to be the biggest authority on crude energy. You know, IEA has got 90 days. You know how much Japan has got? Take a guess. Yeah. Nearly minimum 180 days, 6 months ka storage pada hai. They're not bothered. China, similarly. China is going on by. When the last 1.5 years I was wondering why China is buying crude. Demand is coming from China. I do a lot of business with Iran and Iraq and all. And I was like, तुम लोगों को problem नहीं है sanctions से, अरे यार China दे रहा है यार, no problem. All product produced made by China or by Iran goes to China. China is going on buying and storing. Today we realize why China was storing. See the foresight there. Sorry, I'm not trying to admire Chinese people, but I'm only saying there are certain things countries are doing which is good for them and we must learn from them. What is wrong in that? Okay, we have done very good things. Okay, 250 million ton of refining capacity, we are buying crude from Russia, selling to Europe, big thing. We have done wonderfully well. I must admire the government for whatever steps they have taken. But this SPR, the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, is one area which I want PhD Chamber of Commerce to take it up. And I want them to talk to the government about this. Why are you not spending money and time on SPR? You know, we are spending $20 billion on exploration. Okay, you look at the budget, $15 billion they kept for the exploration. How much we have kept for SPR? It was not there. So I asked somebody, कुछ पता करो यार. तो उसने इसको पूछा, ChatGPT को. ChatGPT said 200 crores for SPR. Maybe ChatGPT is wrong, but $20 billion are nothing for this. Okay, exploration is good. We want to be independent. We must spend money on exploration. But tell me at what cost? Do you know in US, shale, people who do shale, in case crude goes below $60, they don't make shale. Band karta hai wo log. They can't afford. So in short, in case your exploration cost is higher than the crude cost, don't do exploration, yaar. You straight away import. No, we want to be independent. So we want to do our exploration. Fine, do it. But keep some money for Strategic Petroleum Reserve. So once we get SPR, we will be in great form. I tell you how. you know, there was a time during COVID, crude was negative, minus $10 on the exchange, WTI. Today, in case you get crude at $40, $50, why don't you buy? You can buy and store. You can buy on the futures. Buy for 1 year, $40 mein. No problem, buy now. You can buy. You require millions of, nobody's stopping you from buying on the futures. At $40, buy for next 1 year, 2 years. Keep it. Or you have a product with to hedge. Buy the product and keep it here and go on selling on the futures. Make money on the futures. Okay. Now one more thing comes in. Maybe the government doesn't have so much of money to invest in these storage tanks. Maybe there's a we have a limitation. Our budget is limited. Why don't we get the private people involved? See, both our shores, we have such lovely shores, put up storage tanks there. Give your private people the option. I'll give you. Suppose a country like Iran or Iraq, they make lot of crude, but they are not able to sell crude. Okay, they are saying, "Aajka crude $30, $40, but we cannot sell." Okay, they have a problem. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. You cannot send. You can ask them. You make a storage tank here, and you store your product here. We Indians will buy from you, and you can also sell to the other countries. So get the private people involved. Give whoever is making crude in the world. Tell them, "I'll give you land free of cost." Okay, you come and put your storage tank here. Okay, and you do business. I'm not saying that you sell only to me. If suppose Japan wants to buy at $120, sell to Japan, make money. Put in the East Coast, put the storage tanks, keep the product there, and from there you supply to the countries which is having more crude. So my only focus today was in the group. I will not talk about LPG, LNG. There are experts here. My only request to PhD Chamber of Commerce is that you have a lovely job. Today you had this right time, this conference. Kindly tell the government, let us increase our storage capacity. For LPG, it is 2 days we have stored SPR. For crude, we have got 10 days. Okay, putting all the refineries together, we can make 20 days. 20 दिन क्या है यार? Today war is going to last. Ukraine war 3-4 years चलता है यार. So 20 days nothing. Okay, if IEA suggested minimum 90 days, listen to IEA na. Well, they are experts. IEA got the best brains in the world with IEA. So listen to IEA. At least make effort to put 90 days of storage tank in India. This is my request for PhD chamber. Kindly take up the issue with the government, with the authorities concerned. Find ways, there will be solutions. Okay, get the private people involved if you don't have government money. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Rexy. He raised a very valid point of having our own reserves. Because production तो जितनी बढ़ा पा रहे हैं ONGC की टीम मेंबर हैं, हम पूछेंगे उनसे. But whatever reserves we can keep, naturally it involves capital, and he gave very wise example of Japan, which is also just like us, but they have thought over that. While we have been thinking of short-term contracts, long-term contracts and things like that, but storage is also a part of that. So, and as shared by him, we have hardly 7 days SPR. So I request each one of you to play your own part. And now I come to Mr. Mishra. So Mishra Sahab, you have done a lot of LNG and worked on a lot of, say, all India establishing of LNG with many companies, and even today you are advising many people. So how do you see that this LNG taking, now people are talking LNG, CNG, LPG. So LNG has also come to forefront suddenly. How do you see, how do we channelize our resources to make best use of LNG in a very optimum way to tide over this crisis, or even otherwise?
Thank you, sir. Actually, currently, like the government of India is and certainly doing well-planned strategy, because the first of the major thing is your kitchen. Whether like in some of the countries, their heating requirement is one of the primary concerns, which is not there in India, because we are already a hot country and all these things. These are not the primary requirement of India. The primary requirement is kitchen. So this the government has rightly done, sir, that wherever LPG is available and PNG is available, so they are prioritizing that you use the PNG, and the LPG will be going. Because there are more than 34 crore LPG connections are there. And PNG connection, domestic PNG connection is already on only 1.3 crore. And that too, that has been done only in last 10 years period. Before that, it was on few lakhs only. Only in Delhi, few connections. Even in Delhi, after 35 years of operation of IGL, you will see many houses don't have the PNG connection. But even at the last part of the country, even recently we have been working in one project at the Great Nicobar. There, even at that Great Nicobar also, there is a home delivery of LPG cylinders are there. Can you believe this thing? So these type of infrastructure is there. Certainly it is a very matured thing. So even if they, so the primary object, because India is importing approximately the total gas portfolio is approximately 50 million ton. Out of that, approximately 25 million ton is the domestic gas production by ONGC, Reliance and other Oil India and other companies. And rest approximately 50% by, on as a thumb rule you can see, 50% is the import of LNG. And LNG is a basically, so this domestic gas is basically giving a base load type of thing. And the LNG is the substantial thing for the fertilizer, many other uses of LNG is there. So they are doing that. So currently, because LNG, currently there is no supply from the RAS gas. From Qatar, there is a zero supply. There is a, from the ADNOC, there is a zero supply. Means approximately out of 25 million ton, approximately 14 million ton is cut. So only remaining is this much. So certainly the prioritizing this, your kitchen flow, your CNG is important. Fertilizer is also important. So 60% gas is going to the fertilizer. So they are prioritizing. Industry certainly suffered because LPG is also not there. And now the gas is also not there. So industry is, I think, the last priority, which I also feel it is, I think, the correct thing.
Thank you, Mishra-ji. So it's a, but industries have got this commitment that this is never-ending fuel. So what will happen to the sentiment? So there's a question for all of us, all marketeers and even project executors here. So that's a question that question will come and crop up in the next conversation and when people are going for the next contact. So that is a point of debate, yes, but we have to take care of that. So now I request Mr. Pandey from ONGC. If I may say so, the production, the internal production, particularly of crude oil, has been modest, if not stagnant. Stagnant is the appropriate word, but if I use a modest, the growth has been modest. So what more we can do? We are talking of reforms, we are talking of bringing in the regulatory facilitation. What more can be done to increase the production, not only by ONGC, Oil India and all, even private, government, all players?
Actually, ONGC is a E&P company. E stands for exploration and P stands for production. Exploration, from exploration to production, it takes around 10 years time. So this is one thing, that the exploration has not yielded much result recently after the major discovery in the Bombay High. The production has been stagnant because all the discoveries are old and they are getting depleted day by day. So techniques of secondary recovery, tertiary recovery, enhanced recovery, microbial recovery, all those techniques are being applied. That is keeping the production at the same level, is not able to enhance the production. That is the main. What the government has done, government has brought several policies, reforms. Now for exploration, they have started open acreage licensing policy, wherein anyone can apply for any acreage and once it identifies the acreage, that goes for the bidding. And the original person who has identified the acreage, he gets some advantage. Now there are discovered small field rounds going on. Recently, 55 discovered fields are on offer. You may have a question that the fields are discovered, why they are not being developed? And there is the question of the cost. Everyone predicts that the oil prices will go down because of the non-conventional energy coming. So company usually work out their economics on the basis of US dollar 40, 45, 50, not more than that. Oil is expected to go below $40 in the short run. The temporary phenomena which has brought the oil to US dollar 110 or more is a temporary phenomena. No company can work out the economics based on this $110 cost. And if this remains the cost, many of the things become economic. So those fields which are discovered and they were not being developed, they will become economic at this cost. But whether this cost will remain for a year or 2 or 5, if this cost remains for 15 days, no one is going to develop the field for that.
Thank you, Mr. Pandey. Now I'll come to Mr. Suri. What Mr. Pandey said, that the time gap between the E&P, that is the exploration and production, is almost 10 years. And you being primarily in IT, and so how do we, can we reduce, what are your suggestions, that time gap? Now everyone is talking about AI and many other things. So can something be done to, in your view, to reduce the time gap, because 10 years seems to be too high?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sikka, and good evening, everybody. In fact, I am the only odd man out in this entire panel. I am an IT man. I only, you can say oil is gold. People say data is oil. Okay, so I am a data man, AI man. You can say that. So as Mr. Sikka said, data analytics, artificial intelligence can play a huge role in different domains, as you say that, whether it is upstream, midstream, downstream, or, retail, downstream, or marketing. As I see that, when it comes, when in fact, in the previous discussion, they were talking about that, nowadays ministry or PPAC is, probably at the middle of the night, they are continuously asking for data. And they are scrambling for data, their data is shared on email, WhatsApp, and they have to dig, and they themselves, talk within the companies, they ask for data. Everybody asking for data, okay? And data has to be credible also. It has to come from their, ERP systems. So what I find that, many times the churning of data is happening manually, I myself have seen a situation whereby when reports which were started during COVID time, daily sharing of data, some gentleman or lady used to get up early in the morning, 7 o'clock, log onto the system and used to share the data. This was the scene even, 3-4 years back, even in my company from where I belong. So we did something whereby data exchanges started happening through APIs. Data exchanges used to happen automatically, whether it is daily exchange of data or weekly exchange of data within oil companies or monthly sharing of data with PPAC, sales data. So this gives some kind of credibility and also leeway to people who are managing system at back end, okay? If people are busy only doing data extraction or data sharing, probably they'll not be able to take, decisions or, some meaningful kind of decisions. This is part one, okay? Second is, as my co-panelist has said that, whether it's, extraction or, because ultimately you, in oil exploration or discovery, a lot of data is getting generated. Whether AI can play a meaningful role, definitely yes. So as I see, and whether it is seismic data interpretation, you can use machine learning. Whether it is reservoir simulation or modeling, drilling optimization, because I feel that there is a lot of role which AI can play in drilling optimization. somewhere whereby we have predictive well maintenance, whereby artificial intelligence can play a meaningful role. Nowadays we are talk about digital twins of oil fields. So digital twins of oil fields can be done in whereby, especially in Bombay High, whereby already I think 50 years old oil fields. When it comes to midstream, as I see that whether it is pipeline integrity monitoring, somewhere lead detection using sensors or artificial intelligence, demand supply balancing, we see most of most of our products land at our coastal location where demand is mostly in north. That's what I understand from my people who are expert in this domain. Somewhere route and fleet optimization can be done using artificial intelligence, machine learning. Some kind of real-time kind of SCADA can be done using AI. When it comes to downstream, I see huge scope of refinery process optimization, energy management, yield mix, predictive maintenance, quality control and blending, and emission monitoring. Today I'm not talking about retail and marketing. There is huge scope there itself. So as I see, Mr. Sikka, there is huge work. I see, of course, this crisis over a period of time will get over, but we also, as our Honorable Prime Minister said, we have to continuous in a mood of perform, reform and transform, because there is 140 crore people are looking forward to, delivery from all of us. So I'm sure, in fact, somewhere, one gentleman said that, instead of reactive mode, we need to be more of proactive kind of mood. Definitely, this is jolted us, all of us. And I'm sure with the combined strength of this 140 crore people, we'll be able to overcome this difficult scenario. Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. Suri. What I understand, and I hope the crowd and our learned audience would have also thought, optimization is the key word here. Whether it's the well optimization, whether it's the drilling optimization, or whether it's the demand optimization, and sending it to the right place through AI models and various data analytics. So with these words, I come to Mr. Srivastav now. Srivastav साहब आप bitumen के बारे में बताइए, because अभी तक bitumen, now since you are a bitumen expert and whatever is happening, so much infrastructure is being laid, highways and bridges, and so for bitumen word we have not heard in this crisis. So we take this opportunity, where are we in terms of that? Whether it will be also affected or whatever you want to share on that.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sikka. And thanks to the PhD chamber at the outset for organizing this very timely and apt discussions. I was witness to the first session where some very good outcomes were suggested. I will come to bitumen, you asked the question, but before that let me appreciate few findings which I say. See, all these PNG, LNG or anything which we are talking, these are transitions. Ultimate aim is to reach to sustainable source of energy, which can be solar, which is wind, maybe nuclear, fission or fusion reactors ultimately. And so these are the transitory phase. We are transitioning using whatever is available hydrocarbons source of energy, but it's not permanent because it's polluting, it's not environment friendly, and it's not permanently there. A few years or few decades are left for each of the sources. So let's look at the ultimate goal towards that, and that is what a few very good suggestions were there. CBG, the compressed biogas. Though we have a good policy for developing 5,000 plan, but it couldn't take off. It started well, but then we landed up in some problem and it couldn't. Very good solution could have been if it is, and another good suggestion was given regarding the tier 1 and tier 2 cities, making them completely piped natural gas supply, PNG, and you say it's LPG free. So if those things are, make them this CBG for the outskirts or the tier 3 or the lower cities, then you are left with something which can be done through sustainable. Before I come to the bitumen, let me, Mr. Sanjay Suri said he's an AI man, so fortunately I am also from the technology side. I was earlier with NHAI as was introduced. FASTag is one of the program which I implemented when I was at NHAI, and there are a lot of joke around FASTag, that Strata, Hormuz, Iran should put a FASTag. for tolling or the whoever controls maybe the USA tomorrow. So jokes apart, so technology of course has a good optimization role. AI can reduce the consumption or optimize things over. Now coming to the core question which you asked regarding the bitumen. That's again a petroleum product. How government is tackling? I must say the government is, though in this I will not say it has been always very good stance of the government. Many, I mean, as Mr. Rexy mentioned in his opening address, that the capacity of refineries to produce the is 225 million ton, 250 million ton, and we are producing only 19. Same way the bitumen capacity, the consumption of bitumen in India is nearly 10 million ton, whereas the refineries produce only 5.5 million ton this year they have done. There is a shortage of 4.5 million ton of bitumen which is imported, and primarily imported from the Gulf countries only. Now, so dependency is there. Our refineries are capable. They can produce because there is a capacity. They are not producing because the imported was cheaper, and the end product which they are getting from the refineries, instead of making bitumen, they can make something base product which is costing more than economically benefiting them. So that's what they are doing. They think there is a useless thing. Now that has affected this war. Many ships have stopped. Bitumen supply, the imported bitumen has gone up. 45% is now imported. What is going to happen? Fortunately, we have the reserve, and the ministry got immediately active. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, and in, of course, Ministry of Petroleum, Natural Gas also. They discussed with Bitumen Forum what is the current status, how highway builders, are their projects are going to stop because of shortage of this. I will, after my talk, I will request Mr. Rexy to add more light on this because he directly deals into that area related to the supply of bitumen to the country. But fortunately, we do not have crisis as of now. Our projects, they can run at least for 6 more months with the current scenario. And then we are developing alternate source of bitumen. Yesterday we were witnessing, there was a conference organized by CSIR, which is a body of Ministry of Science and Technology. It was co-hosted with the Ministry of Rural Development. In fact, there were 2 ministers in that conference. I just want to highlight the priority of government that I started with the good note to the government. It is bio-bitumen. So the CRRI has developed a technology where the waste products from the agriculture like parali, which is burned, which pollutes the Delhi and other areas, and other similar waste product which they can be converted into a bitumen, the last product, and this bitumen can be mixed with the normal bitumen up to certain percentage, like ethanol is blended with the diesel and other, and the dependency can be reduced. Yesterday they gave license, this technology is now commercialized. They gave license to, so 2 ministers, one Dr. Jitendra Singh, Science and Technology, Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, both were present there. They gave license to 10 manufacturers yesterday, and 14 were already there. So now total 24 industries are there who are going to produce the bio-bitumen. So now our dependency will go away. Similar kind of more innovative things has to come up to reduce, because another interesting fact I will just share with the viewers here, our audience. India is having the 2nd largest road network in the globe, in the world. First is the USA, which is roughly 6.6 million kilometers paved road, and India is just behind 6.4 million kilometers. Maybe in couple of years we will be number 1. The bitumen requirement, and most of the roads are bituminous. In USA, here also, barring few concrete roads. Our bitumen consumption in India, which I said is around 10 million ton, is almost half of the US. And China, US it is around 22 million ton consumption. China it is around 16 to 17, and India is only 10. That means there is a big gap. If we are going, so the bitumen demand is going to go further up. How we are going to cope it up, what we are going to, I mean, those are the things has to be thought for. I think it will be good if PhD chamber push this as one of the recommendation. Do focus on bitumen. Don't consider it's a waste product, end products, none of our business. No, it's sure, because it will halt the construction of highways. It will halt the projects of NHI. It's a serious. Fortunately, we are currently in a good scenario that we can pull on, but it's not going to be. So focus has to be shifted there. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Srivastava. For a moment, I thought you will say we are totally ourselves sufficient, but again, the story remains same. We are 50% efficient, the same story whether it's for CNG or natural gas. But on a very positive note, you shared about biobitumen. I'm sure the audience would have learnt about that. That seems to be a very new, interesting thing happening like CBG. I only hope it takes off in a proper way. And so now I request, I come to Mr. Rexy. So like you said that there is lot of potential of developing SPR through even the foreign parties. If there is a budget constraint or there are challenges, maybe the leading PSUs or some private groups can form JVs or whatever. So what do you suggest the way forward for bringing capital which will help in bringing the, because even Japanese, you named Japanese, they give lot of, even for road projects, for development projects, for rural development, they give lot of budgets. So they can be also aligned towards this. So what are your thoughts?
Thank you, Mr. Sikka. I think the focus has to be on developing strategic petroleum reserve in this country. Once we focus that, there are solutions. Okay. Now, if you know, most of you know that as far as crude trading is concerned, okay, the physical trading is 1/10 of the paper trading. Okay, the paper trading is huge. You know, it's huge. Why? People hedge. People have their bets. So, as a country, we must encourage every company to hedge, even though government is encouraging that. But I would say 90% of the people don't hedge. So, one thing is that let all the buyers should hedge. Okay, hedge your position. So, whatever the crude happens, 120, 150, you are safe. Okay, even for bitumen, I was telling people, let all the road contractors who are buying, filling a tender at X price. Just imagine if you put a tender and the bitumen price was 35,000, which was 6 months back. Today, bitumen price is 65,000. So what is the use of a tender? I mean, tender where I've been 65,000. Okay, what money are you going to make? But why? Because you don't hedge. You should have hedged your position. Why don't you hedge your raw material products? So as a country, we must encourage people to hedge. That's the first thing. Once you encourage people to hedge, people who want to hedge, they want to depend on physical stocks back. Because with physical stock, the traders may not like to hedge because they want something. Suppose tomorrow they want delivery, you have the product to hedge. What is Dubai did? Dubai, as the previous speaker said, Dubai has got a lot of storage places. They store everything. You know why? It's a trading country. So why can't we have a city like Bombay or like Mangalore or Port St. Pretty, make it a storage hub for petroleum products. Store everything, not only crude. Store whatever product you want. LPG, 2 days of storage. What do you mean a country like India having only 2 days of storage? That means we are not focusing on storage. We don't give importance to storage. I would suggest that people like Trafigura and all, okay, big trading hubs are there in the world, call them. Tell them, okay, we'll give you land. You build your storage tank and you sell to anyone in the world. They will be more than happy. Because Trafigura will, as a big trader, they put storage tanks there. They will buy crude at $20, $30 with their international strength, and they will sell it to us maybe at $70 and make money. Let them make money. At least we are secure that we have got 90 days of storage with us. Today with 2 days of storage, you are running around the world asking for product. Well, look at Japan. Why is Japan so safe? अरे 180 दिन का माल में आप लोग झगड़ा करो जो मुद्दे they are not bothered. They got 180 to 250 days of storage they have got. You are not bothered. They are not bothered about price of crude becoming 100, 120. Have you seen Japanese people running around there? No, they are doing the business coolly. Okay, so my idea, my suggestion to the PhD chamber is kindly inform the government that you are spending $20 billion on exploration. Okay, correct? If $20 billion we are spending on exploration, spend some money for strategic petroleum reserve. Develop that. Some money, keep it there. Because, as he rightly said, every time exploration is not going to be profitable. Shale gas producers in US shut down their facilities. They have discovered shale gas, but they cannot make because it is $60. They can't afford it. They only start producing after 60. So if you are going to make very costly or very uneconomical wells, you are going to make, and that wells are not going to be very economically viable, keep some money for petroleum reserve. And believe me, countries like Iran, Iraq, Bahrain, all these countries got excess crude. They would love to come to this country if you give them some perks, some facilities to put up storage here. They will put their money, they will bring their crude. Before them, crude is free. They want to pay for export. They'll bring the crude from there, store in India, and they will sell it to Indians only whenever we want it. That's my thing. Develops SPR. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope the team PhD is taking the notes so that they can collate whatever the suggestions, not only of this group, but the earlier group, and represent them to the government. And let's hope positive things keep on happening. With this, I come back to Mr. Mishra. Mr. Mishra, there has been a talk since last 10 years of taking the natural gas percentage share to the total energy mix from 6 to 15%. Now in the whatever is happening currently, how do you see it will be taken forward about this mix? Where do you see this? And a lot of steps like CNG, CBG, they are being, again, the policies are helping. So I'm sure, but where do you see it in years to come?
Actually, I think around 10 years back, in one speech, Honorable Prime Minister has told that, and a written paper has been given to him, and he has told that it is from 6 to 15%. Because what happens when he has told, in 2009, we were approximately 10% of the energy, natural gas. When this D6 exploration, this Reliance discovery has happened, that time in India, immediately sudden jump to approximately, I think 9.5 to around 10% was that. And then it has come down to approximately 5-6%. And still it is maintaining for many years approximately 6%. Even it is less than 6%. It is, I think currently it is 5.7 or something percent is there. So I think bringing LNG, what I feel, why India needs going from 6 to 15%, just tell me. I personally feel India needs a affordable fuel, accessible fuel, and reliable supply of fuel. This is the only thing. India needs energy security. India don't need the gas or bitumen or any other thing like LPG. We need the energy security. The primary objective of any government is the energy security. Approximately 45%, 48% is the coal, which we never talk about. In all these forums, I have never seen the coal seminar, you know. Whereas this particular energy is catering approximately 50%, you can say, just as a thumb rule, 50% of the energy is being catered by that. In last many years, the coal production and the generation of power from the coal has increased, you know. The total carbon intensity or the carbon footprint of LNG, I am a LNG consultant by chance, but LNG and coal, poor Indian coal is same. We are telling time and again that we should go use LNG for the carbon neutral, sustainability, this and that. But you will actually calculate, bringing LNG all the way from United States to India, first you are producing LNG, you are producing the gas. Approximately 10% of the gas is spent for liquefaction of this gas, purification and liquefaction. Then you are bringing the LNG all the way from US to India after a voyage of approximately 35 days. Lot of BOG is going on, and the ship is using this same gas, and the methane is going up. You know, instead of carbon, the methane is going up. Then again, it is be unloaded in the H terminal. It is then regasified. Again, some power and energy is spent. And then it is coming to some plant power plant in, suppose in Madhya Pradesh, some power plant is there. At the same Madhya Pradesh, the coal is produced. The same poor Indian coal is produced. And it is being used in 50 kilometers of the radius, that thing. So these are the things what I am particularly, sometimes I'm, sir, really thinking why we are always talking about the 15% or 20%. Because I am working in natural gas, I am, in the entire career is in natural gas. But it should not mean that I will talk only about natural gas. So the thing is that we will never reach 15%. I'm very bluntly telling this thing. Because 15% of natural gas achieving means currently it is approximately, you can say around 50 million ton. You have to reach approximately 200 million ton. But the target is 2030, which is just 4 years away. And currently, LNG production globally is approximately, you can say, around 450 million ton. And approximately 200 million ton is getting added in next, I think, 4 to 5 years' time. So certainly LNG portfolio is going up. But LNG will be used in India as a as a complementary or as that fuel which is being used for the fertilizer. And after some time, this fertilizer production will be by the green ammonia. After a few years, I think after 10 years, we will see. So the primary objective, the energy security of the country, what personally, sir, I feel, is the renewable. Because solar is available in India, we have to reduce the import dependence. Certainly, 100% we cannot remove. Oil, there is approximately 80%, 85% dependence is there. In India, many stranded fields are there. Sir is from the DGH. No, I think more than 100 small fields are there, which we could not monetize because of the pricing. Because of the pricing, the energy is available in the country. I was working on a project for last 10 years for the monetization of this stranded field, making it, because these small fields are there, the gas is produced, but the nearby customer is not there. So laying a pipeline, because the total quantity is very small, so laying a pipeline and connecting to the customer is a problem. It is not economically viable. So just we were planning that we will liquefy that at the site, and through road tanker we will supply. But you know, currently if I am going to ONGC, they will tell, sir, we will sign the agreement tomorrow. But by the time this agreement process go on, the prices will come down. Then my company will tell, Indian Oil Corporation, no, it is better to buy from outside. What he was telling that bitumen is 50% is imported. When I was in Indian Oil, I will tell you, sir, the bitumen story. We can produce bitumen, but 10 million ton is a very small quantity. But the problem is that bitumen is cheaper when we are producing what he has told. It is better to produce diesel or petrol instead of bitumen. And even when the prices are low, like more things are available, bitumen prices are very high. Sometimes I have attended a meeting where our chairman was also there. What he told you, increase the production of bitumen, because bitumen prices are very high, whereas this this petrol, diesel are low. Then one of our refinery persons told, where we will store, sir? Because this one bitumen, this is a rainy season, there is no bitumen demand. It is demand is in the summer or some other season. So how to store this 5 million ton of bitumen? So again, so this is the, sir, actually these are the processes where coal is required. Certainly solar is going very fast at the CAGR of approximately 15%. It is going up. And I'm telling you, in next 10 years, certainly we will achieve, I think, the 500 gigawatt target. The total solar potential of India is approximately 780, 790 gigawatt. Out of that, currently we have achieved only 140. So certainly in next 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, we will certainly reach approximately 400 gigawatt only by solar. Then other wind, others, then battery storage. All these things our government is promoting very aggressively. Because when I was Indian Oil, I actually got some opportunity to attend some meetings in Niti Aayog also and in ministry also. They are very aggressive in these things. But after some time, these things will come down. They will be complementing the solar, certainly. And gas, certainly gas, you have asked the question about gas, sir. This will be the complementing this thing. The solar plant is there. There is a lot of intermittency is there. So to back up this solar thing, natural gas is the most efficient fuel which can give a peak shaving type of production, and it can this thing. So these are the things. And regarding this LNG in transport fuel, LNG in other thing, you know, when this Tiwari Sahab was telling the gas to be produced. Now currently the gas what your kitchen is getting as a domestic PNG, only approximately 26% is a domestic gas. Rest is LNG. LNG price what Sandeep Jain sir was telling, $30. $30 means after some time, suppose this situation continues for 3 months, you yourself will come and tell, Sahab, I don't need PNG. Please start LPG or some other fuel. Because the prices, what he was telling, there are approximately 60, very big figure he was telling, the dormant connections are there. Why dormant? When I have the connection of DPNG, domestic PNG in my house, and LPG is also there, why I am not using? Because LPG is becoming cheaper. So affordability is the major criterion in Indian system, that whatever is affordable, I will use. Simply, it is as simple as that. And accessible, certainly. Accessible has to be there. Affordability is the main thing. When the gas prices come down, everybody start talking. Like strategic reserves, approximately, India is having the strategic reserve. And it is called strategic reserve. You just please mind this thing. Strategic reserve means for the defense purpose. Suppose there is some war with some country, so to supply the fuel to the military operation, these reserves are there. It is not for the normal thing. And for many countries in Europe and in even many other countries, even there is, their strategic reserve is for the heating of the building. In Canada, if you don't heat the building, you will die. But in our country, this is not the situation. So this is the basically strategic means for different. We are comparing with I think this Japan or some developed countries where excess money is there. They have excess money. In 5 million ton LNG terminal, we have 2 tanks. At Ennore or Kochi or any terminal you go, there are 2 tanks per 5 million ton capacity. In Japan, there are 16 tanks per 5 million ton capacity. So they have extra money available. Where to invest? They are investing. But in our country, the food security, this fertilizer subsidy, many other things are, this toilet banana hai और रोड बनाना, ये बोल रहा है सबसे ज़्यादा लंबी रोड है इंडिया में. I am very happy to know. And their bitumen production consumption is 20 million. Our bitumen is 10 million. Their road is almost same. I think their road must be more wider. Double road होगी. हमारी single road है. So this is the thing, because they can afford this thing. So this is the affordability for government also and for.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. So, Mr. Mishra, what you said, if I summarize it, and rather than the energy, energy security is the key, and also the poor coal as well as the solar, they have to be brought in focus. Also, like other fuels, we have to be fair to everyone.
Yes.
And with this, we are almost coming to discussion, but I would like to take one question from the audience. Yeah. Yeah, your question is addressed to whom, please? Yeah, Mr. Suri. Yeah, please.
Actually, good question. But data center, your localization required for data privacy in mind. Recently, government has passed this Data Privacy Act. So it's key because data is the new oil. Of course, these data centers, especially AI data center, require huge energy. So I think they need to figure out, they need to factor in terms of when they build up the data centers, because I think Microsoft, Google, they have announced around billions of dollars investment. So, but it is required because ultimately, whether it is data, whether it is protocols, whether it is, whether it for defense, you require all this, If you notice that, companies develop their own kind of in-house. Now, in fact, recently, today there was news that they have stopped, Chinese make cameras, CCTV cameras, because ultimately today news. So data security, data privacy is a big concern. So I think government is dealing very aptly in all these scenarios. So maybe we can talk more, maybe in the offhand. Not exactly, because ultimately it has to be invested. Money has to be invested, especially if you have to have today. In fact, if you see most of the AI models, they are mostly either Chinese or they are US. Still, I think there are only limited Indian models are there. So India has to go a probably long way. Of course, a lot of work has happened if you understand recent AI summit. But I think a lot more work has to be done. And I think India is the third largest manpower. And there is AI, lot more can be done, whether it is oil industry or energy sector. Okay, with this.
Thank you. With this, we come to the end of this session. I hope audience liked it, and whatever the questions remaining, they can always ask the panelists later. Thank you so much. Also, I thank all the panelists and the PhD team to give us a chance to sit here and share our views. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, sir. And as a token of appreciation, I'll request Rupesh Pandey, sir, to please present mementos to Shri Rajiv Sikka, sir, for moderating and for being here, sir. Can we have a big round of applause for our panelists, please? Thank you, Sikka, sir. Thank you so much. Thanking Shri Rama Shankar Pandey, sir. Thanking Shri Sanjay Kumar Suri, sir. Zordar taaliyan ho jaye, please. Thank you. Thanking Shri Rexy Ravindran, sir. Thanking Shri Akhilesh Srivastava, sir. And a big thank you to JP Mishra, sir, who's also been a part of the PhD Hydrocarbon Committee. Thank you so much, sir. I'll request the panel to stand for a group photograph. Thank you so much, sir. And we'll start our last technical session for the summit today, which will be on downstream resilience, sustainable transitions, and enterprise risk management. And we'll be touching upon strengthening downstream sector efficiency, total quality management, managing geopolitical and operational risk, Atmanirbhar Bharat and net zero commitments. I'll request our delegates to kindly remain seated. This is also a very important session, and then we can do networking during high tea. ये सेंटर में and I'll request all the delegates to kindly remain seated और जो पीछे बैठे हैं वो थोड़ा आगे आ जाएंगे so we'll have a more interactive session. ये chairs भी कर देंगे पीछे आगे कर ले. Panelists for this session, our moderator, Shri M.K. Biswas sir, Executive Director, GAIL. I'll request him to join us on the dais. A big round of applause for our panelists for this session. Shri Abhinav Arora sir, Vice President, HAL Offshore. Shri Tanush Sharma sir, Senior Assistant Vice President, Oil and Gas. Shri Praveen Kumar Agarwal, Executive Director, GAIL India Limited, and Shri Arindam Mitra sir, AVP BD, Indian Gas Exchange, to please join us on the dais. Abhinav Arora sir, is he here? So I'll hand it over to our moderator sir, Mr. Biswas, to kindly take it forward. All yours, sir. Presentation is okay. एक presentation है response okay.
So it's very difficult, this is the last session and still something new to come here. So I would like to first share with you that this session would be slightly different than the previous two sessions that we had. And we will be touching the enterprise risk management also in this particular session. And our panelists are having Mr. Abhinav Arora, who is from HAL MMG with a lot of experience in his career, and Mr. Tanush Sharma is also having a kind of panel with us today. Mr. Praveen Kumar Agarwal, he is a seasoned gas marketing stalwart in GAIL. Mr. Arindam Mitra, who is actually in IGX, and we happen to be together probably in the last meeting also. So it's a very good and different type of panel today here with us. So just to tell you that before going and switching over to the downstream resilience, sustainable transition and enterprise risk management, I will try to set the context on the enterprise risk management, how a company can manage the risk even if there are different sort of uncertainties as well as ambiguities. And as we all know, we are running through an era and age called VUCA that we all aware of. But to tell you that how to mitigate those kind of situations that we are having right now in the country, not only in the country but globally we are having this situation. So I would like to see that how a company, can I just take that changer? Yeah, sorry, it is already here. So just to tell that if there are some different kind of risks, there are opportunities that we all know, and how to encash those risk into the opportunity, that is the kind of art that we have to take and check. And of course with that opportunity there are losses also. So as we all should see that in the risk there are opportunities, and we'll have to see that how to travel in this particular era with the risk, with the opportunities as well. So if you see that the risk management for any country, if you see that not only the country but the company also take care different type of risks that we all know, legal, strategy, technology, geopolitics, geoeconomics nowadays, health and safety and operational risk, that will have to take care with the mitigation action, and how people can travel this turbulent time which is going on globally as well as nationally with some kind of risk management. We never talk about that risk management in a big way in the hydrocarbon session, but today is the day where we sit together and to see that how that risk can be mitigated and managed. So if you see that there are different kind of risk management policy guidelines available, I will not go to the deep into that because it has already been discussed, but just to know that SEBI, LODR as well as DP and the Company Act are abided by most of the companies, those who are having a listed company in the country of ours. Here there are different regulations, there are different guidelines available, which we all know. We will not go detailed into that, but the risk management, they talk about the risk management and how to sail through this particular turbulent time by the company of any big or small that they should go by. If you know about the GAIL is basically a midstream company which is having lot of supply side, there are processing side, there are distribution, and all everywhere there are risk there are involved by default. You cannot avoid the risk from supply, wherever it is coming from, whether it is a Russia, whether it is a USA, whether it is a Qatar, the risk is there from the supply chain point of view. Similarly, the midstream sector, there will be some technological risk, there will be some limitations, sanctions and other things in the midstream sector, and the downstream sector also, you will find that the downstream people are also having some problem in their resources and other areas, where you will have to see that not only the upstream supply resources can be managed, but also the midstream sector, the EPC contract, the technology that they are supplied, they are not getting in time and they are to be taken care of. If you see that the natural gas is not only stored in one place, but also it has to travel a long way. Once we talk about the CGD network and the GAs in our country from east to west, and there are many times we have seen that the west to east natural gas comes for the fertilizer, power, fuel, CNG, PNG and LPG. Why I am telling this thing? Because this has not been deliberated in the past 2 sessions, wherein we will deal with all this session and to see that how risk can be mitigated in a big way, so that we are resilient company, we are self-sustained, and we are happy at the end of the day after taking some of the mitigation actions at our every end or whatever possible. So again, as we know that the fertilizer, power, city gas distribution, petrochemical refineries, they are getting supplied through various network in the country. If the supply does not come from Qatar, it will not reach to the power, it will not reach to the fertilizer, it will not reach to the city gas, it will not reach to our kitchen where we cook our food. Therefore, this supply chain is very, very important. It has never been discussed till the time that where the gas is coming from in detail. Here we can see that the Russia, China, there are gas offices available where we invest, and GAIL is present in Singapore, Myanmar, Egypt and USA, where the gas is coming different places, but we operate in these countries. Whenever there is a problem, suppose USA has made a sanction in Myanmar, say for example, the office operation of GAIL or any company, big or small, it will be having difficulties not only from the sanction of the currency, but also in different ways that they can apply. Therefore, we need to have a framework of any company, whether you like or don't like, but a framework is a must to address the today's business risk that we all are having, whether it's a big enterprises or a small or medium company, whether it is a IT company or whether it is a SEBI as well as the financial institute. They have to have a framework of similar in nature, whether it is a big or small, it will make some bit of difference, but we will have to have a framework like this, so that the risk coming from a particular plant is not coming within the plant always. The risk will come from the raw material, risk will come also the supply or distribution of the product that is not going out because of some reason or other. Therefore, this risk mitigation framework will try to say that, okay, there are some risks available, there is some mitigation actions, and the management is all looking for this kind of mitigation actions as per the level and as per the delegation of power. So coming to the risk mitigation framework, as I told you that we will deal with all this framework in a few minutes after that, but there has to be some, chief risk officer, down below risk management department and the unit level risk management committee. Me being the chief risk officer of GAIL, I need to see that whether the management, what they want to make a strategy for the down below for running the plant so that the product comes out from the plant with, of course, there are many enabling factors that comes in between that has to be in place. So that we call it business continuity plan. We continue the business to the extent possible based on the supply and other limitations. Therefore, this framework is very, very applicable for all the organization, whether it is a small or medium or a big company. This is a kind of risk management and treatment any company can think of, because we have not talked about this risk management in detail in the last 2 sessions. We have talked about the sources, we have talked about many other things which I am not going to touch upon, but any company and every company, when they are facing any risk, they have to see the treatment of that risk that they are going through. Therefore, you can either avoid, you can either or you can share, or you can accept that risk, because every business has got that risk and you will have to go and live with that, with the mitigation action for every risk that we are having. So, for risk management process, there is a process. Why I am covering slightly, because it is not normally covered in any seminar. You will find that this kind of, discussion will never happen, because risk is a very, thing that people would like to say that we do not have any risk. And if you are having the risk and if you are not trying to address that, that is the biggest risk of the company. Therefore, we will have to see that how risk management process can actually work from each company. Every company, whether it is a IT, whether it is a financial institution, or it is a big oil and gas sector company. Here today we are talking about the hydrocarbon, but there are many enablers for running that business. It is our IGX, it is our IT system, it is our EPC contract, it is our different others enablers that are basically supporting their business to come. Here in the process of risk management, we will have to see that which are the risks are most impacting. For any sustainable business, there are 2 very important things. The materiality. What is that materiality? What matters and where it matters. Where your business is getting impacted and what exactly the remedial action that we are supposed to take. So, you need to identify where it is coming from, where the risk is coming from. Is it only because of the regulatory risk, whether it is only the ESG risk, whether it is only the supply risk, whether it is our IT risk, whether it is our IT security risk, whether it is our any other risk that is coming within the company. So, that all needs to be addressed by having a kind of risk mitigation process and the management of that risk that one company should look into. So, there is a criteria for identifying the risk. If you see that why I am talking about the risk a little bit more, because every company has to have that kind of risk with the risk mitigation action. The era that the VUCA era we are running by, you cannot avoid risk. What you can do? You can mitigate those risk into a kind of opportunity, or you can avoid the losses to the minimum level. Here you can see the impact likelihood at velocity. People can ask me what is the velocity. Velocity is the terminology that can be utilized, that how is impacting the company, how quickly. Suppose there is a bleed, there is a accident, there is a fire. It will go fast and impact the company financially very quickly. But if a pipeline is there, there is a corrosion. Corrosion, it will never happen within a day or 2. It will gradually, slowly, it will impact you. But the day when it matures, it will be impacted the company heavily. So therefore, the velocity is less. Suppose another example I can give about the velocity example of the medium velocity, because suppose there is a kind of regulation that has come into the force that you will have to put a kind of zero liquid discharge in your process plant within a time frame of say suppose 6 months. That means the velocity is medium, because we are getting 6 month time to take care. If the compliances are not done within 6 months, the impact will be heavy because the plant will be shut because of the regulation. So I think I have expressed what is the very high velocity, medium velocity and a low velocity. Here the velocity is very important, how it is getting onset, how it is impacting the business by having a velocity criteria of 1 to 0, 1 to 5. And similarly for the impact and likelihood, you can give a range of 1 to 5 and multiply, and you can take it that whether it is a key risk, whether it is a medium risk or a low risk. It is a very scientific way, very simple way, but every company needs to look into this matter, how risky my company is, how the difficulties are coming and where it is impacting, at what scale. That is what the likelihood impacts are telling. So there is a velocity that I have just now told. So this is the way we can make that evaluation criteria. So there are different kind of likelihood and velocity. You can, depending on the size of the company, you can make it the days and time according to the size of the company. So this is the risk, likelihood and velocity criteria that we have made for ourselves, but every company can decide of their own. After you do the risk mapping and risk identification, you will have to make that risk heating system. Heating system in the sense how risky your business is, whether it is a very high risk or low risk or a medium risk. If it is high risk, you will have to monitor a very close interaction with the management, because there are many risks which cannot be taken by one individual or one department. They will have to go to the management for mitigation action for that. So you will have to identify the very high risk so that your monitoring system by the management as well as the department concerned are very frequent. So monitoring and review I have told, so nothing to say that if the risk is very high, you will have to monitor very quickly with the highest authority wherever there is a possibility. Today we are sitting here with the ministry. Why? Because the risk of so many things has happened to the highest level, at the country level or the company level. So we are all sitting together. Similarly, for any organization, the risk management committee should see that it is a high risk and will have to take action thereon with the review. Of course, there are calendars. It will depend on individual company. I will not go to that extent. And of course, the people have to be, knowing that what is to be done, what is not to be done for mitigating their own risk within their company. Procedure I have told you, this is basically to just to sensitize that what are the risks that each company, we are all the senior level of the company. So we must know that what are the company risks that we are going to come. There are some company they have already established, these are the risks, but there are many risks which are not known. I will tell you what are the top global risks that the WEF has identified, which is applicable for us. WEF, the World Economic Forum, has identified these top 10 risks. The top 10 risks, if you see that the geoeconomics, geopolitics is one part. Geoeconomics is another part of the story now. Geopolitical risk, we have all heard about it. Now it is the time for geoeconomical risk, which global risk identification body has said that this is a kind of risk which is we are all passing through that side. Similarly, misinformation and disinformation. You agree with me or not? There are a lot of informations which is not only misinformation but also disinformation. There is a fine difference between your misinformation and disinformation, and there are flooded of information which may or may not be correct. We will have to take and choose that correct information, and this type of global risk is happening right now, right here in front of us, and everybody is suffering because of some misinformation or disinformation. You are not 100% sure the information I am gathering from YouTube or from any sources whether it is 100% correct or not. So this is the second topmost risk the global World Economic Forum has identified, and it has been established. I am being a part of that World Economic Forum. I was also there in their committee, in some of the committee where 700 risk officials of different countries, they have identified this. And there are sectoral polarization, these are all probably already you have got. Cyber security, they have given the terminology of cyber insecurity. Difference between cyber security and cyber insecurity. People have started feeling, that I am insecure of that misinformation and the cyber attack that I am likely to have. I do not know when it is likely to come to me. There people have started, becoming insecure of the cyber insecurity. So they have changed the nomenclature of that particular risk from cyber security to cyber insecurity. This is some of the top 10 risks of the global. So that is what I just wanted to cover here, which is slightly different than your normal hydrocarbon session. Here big panels are there. I will go to individual panelists who are expert of their domain to discuss about something which is our theme. Number one, the resilience. I will go to other panelists also, what exactly true sense of resilience and resilient company meaning. Then I will also go that how the IT OT system as well as our platforms can help us to get into the best efficiency in our hydrocarbon sector in a very few minutes just after that. So probably I will initiate the start talking with Mr. Arora. If you can start your few minutes of, say, suppose 5 to 10 minutes, you can talk about that, and we will then ourselves engage with all the other panelists also as per the requirement, as per the time permitted. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Biswas sir. Okay. See, the topic for today given has been on the downstream resilient, sustainable, and ERM. Right. So in downstream, generally what happens, it's strengthening. It involves refining, petrochemical, and distribution assets. ये तीन main चीज होती है downstream में. So उसको अगर हमको strong करना है in present volatile market or geopolitical scenario, we have three things, another three things: operational optimization and efficiency, which many people in the morning spoke about. Second is the value chain transformation, and third is the supply chain. I will talk on the supply chain, on certain things where we can adopt in future to make it more efficient. Okay. See, right now the concept of micro LNG or the small LNG is being coming up in a very big way. Why? जहाँ पर गैस की पाइपलाइन नहीं पहुँच सकती वहाँ माइक्रो LNG जा सकता है. ओके. जहाँ पर इंडस्ट्रियल फ्यूल का एप्लीकेशन है, पावर जनरेशन है, जहाँ पर LPG को रिप्लेस करना है एरियाज़ पर, सो द सोल्यूशन अवेलेबल इज़ द माइक्रो LNG. तो उसको देखते हुए सिटी गैस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में एक और है माइक्रो LNG का. उस पर आज की डेट में आई एम नॉट गोइंग इनटू डेप्थ, लाइक एवरीबडी नोज ऑन द पाइपलाइन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, फास्टर, एडवांटेजेस ऑफ इट. सी राइट नाउ वी हैव लॉट ऑफ गैस अवेलेबल इन इंडिया. One is the rich gas or the lean gas which is available. Somewhere is the flare gas which is available. Third is the wellhead gas, what ONGC team was talking about, the wellhead gas. See, right now the technologies are getting developed all over the world, and India also, we are working on it. How to tap these gas? कई जगह तो गैस सिर्फ हवा में उड़ाई जा रही है. अगर उस गैस में कुछ अभी भी मीथेन है, why not to capture it, right? So where the methane CH4 is as low as 58 to 60%, the technologies are getting developed to liquefy it. Where the CO2, पहले जो एक कहते थे LNG सर, जिसमें होता है CO2 1% हो, 2% हो, negligible हो. Now there's a technology up to 38 to 40% if CO2 is available. Why not to capture into LNG? ठीक है, membrane system आ गए, उसके लिए pre-treatment system आ गए है to bring it down to the LNG. And this is being done in the ambient temperature of 25 to 35 degrees Celsius itself, not any change. तो room temperature में ही काम हो रहा है. In fact, अगर कहीं gases में जैसे refinery IOCL वगैरह में जाते हैं तो H2S भी निकल आता है. So to remove the H2S also the systems have come up. So another point comes up in the flaring gas is the moisture also. अगर moisture होता है, moisture separators are there. So by using all such pre-treatments or using to tap all these gases, मतलब कोई भी poor quality जिसको हम कहते हैं अपने hydrocarbon industry में, to treat them, to capture them, this gas into a liquid form, the systems are available, and to make it to 99% pure methane content to be used in the as a form of LPG. और 99 pure methane को तो कहीं भी use कर सकते हैं सर, ठीक है. So this can be used for a biogas application or for a pipeline natural application. तो एक मैं आपको एक example देता हूँ just to conclude it. I was just doing some calculations while coming to the place. Okay. See, the system of around 15 tons per day to 3,000 tons per day LNGs are being talked about. Something is under development stage, something is being developed. लेकिन एक बात हो रही है तो फ्यूचर जरूर होगा. एक 1 टन का प्लांट सर, 1 टन और एक 30 टन का प्लांट में ले लेता हूँ जो स्मॉलर आ रहा है, जो कि इकोनॉमिकल वायबल है. दिस गिव्स अराउंड 1700 मीटर क्यूब पर आवर ऑफ गैस. 130 टन्स ऑफ प्लांट, 30 टन्स का अगर हम प्लांट देखते हैं तो उसको अगर मैं मीटर क्यूब में ही जाता हूँ तो 66 मीटर क्यूब हो जाता है. अगर हमने 66 मीटर क्यूब का पर डे का एक गैस से लिक्विफाई करके एक प्लांट बनाया और उसको आगे हम यूज़ कर रहे हैं फॉर द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ हीटिंग और द पावर जनरेशन और द एलपीजी रिप्लेसमेंट, वी हैव 1700 एनएम क्यूब पर आवर. इसको अगर मैं पावर की फॉर्म में बोलूँ तो अराउंड 7.5 मेगावाट हो जाता है पावर ऑफ जनरेशन पर आवर ही हो गया 7500. So such technologies, such high efficient technologies are available to be used. तो इसको हम small micro SLNG को like GAIL is one, IOCL, BPCL, ONGC, anyone can adopt. जिसके पास wellhead gas है, जिसके पास flare heads है, flare gases है, जिसके पास lean gases है, like सर GAIL के अंदर, मैं थोड़ा GAIL में कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि GAIL के पास वो processing करता है गैस की ज़्यादा. तो GAIL के जो पाटा के plants है उसके अंदर रिच गैस बहुत निकलती है जो यूज़ नहीं हो रही. तो इस रिच गैस को यूज़ करते हुए एक तो वो गैस वेस्ट हो गई, वेस्ट नहीं कहना चाहिए लेकिन कोई यूज़ नहीं हो रहा तो वेस्ट ही बोलेंगे, उसको यूज़ करके आप कर सकते हैं और इसको जहाँ पर दूर दूर रिमोट लोकेशंस पर इंस्टॉल कर सकते हैं. नाउ डेज द ट्रांसपोर्टेशन इज ऑल्सो अवेलेबल सिलेंडर फॉर्म में, सो ऑल दी ऑप्शंस आर अवेलेबल. दिस कैन बी अ फ्यूचर इन इट. दैट्स ऑल फ्रॉम माई साइड सर.
Mr. Avinav, you have given a lot of insights about some of the things which have not been covered in the past. One was that the waste to energy. So nice talking and nice insightful things that you have touched upon. So we will get ourselves engaged after one round of discussion that once completed. So I would like to now call upon Mr. Tanuj Sharma, who is the Vice President of Invest. With his presentation, and let us see what it is coming out actually. Yeah,
can you make the presentations please? Thank you PHDCCI for inviting me. Respected panelists, delegates, industry colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all of you. I'll be doing a short talk on a topic which has become so relevant today and everybody is talking about it, not just in India but globally, is the strategic reserves. So strategic petroleum reserves is something we have heard about being present in India. The strategic gas reserves is what I'll take you through. This being a technical session, there will be a lot of technical talks, technical terms, so I mean you can take the presentation later on, take it home, study it, but just be with me for some time so that you are able to relate to the entire structure that we talk about, and so that it does not goes into any thin air. Before that, my duty to talk about who we are, what I represent. So about Invest India, we are a government body working under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. We are India's only and national level investment promotion agency. So our job is to promote foreign direct investments in India. So day in, day out, I work with a lot of foreign companies to show them the India market, and we take them to various stakeholders. We build the India investment case for foreign companies. I mean, I deal with companies from Japan till Canada, so the entire globe is with us, when we show them the India market. So working with the government stakeholders, showing them the Indian government policies, subsidies, incentives, schemes, programs, and then showing them also, the various available government land banks to site their projects in India, be it LNG terminal, LPG terminal, storage depots in oil and gas. So here I lead the oil and gas, biofuels and hydrogen vertical, and been assisting a lot of foreign companies, but I do work with a lot of Indian players like GAIL, ONGC, HPC, IOC, BPC as important stakeholders to support and to work with any incoming company as well. So you can see a lot of awards that Invest India has won. I should reflect upon the fact that even during COVID time, while we were restricted to be, safely operating from home, Invest India worked across various domains that we won awards during COVID time as well. Now, the technical part, underground gas storage. So storage, one is that, you should reflect it in layman terms with our own rice dal that we have in home. So every day if we cook some rice, but we have a big container where we pull out rice from, right? We don't go every day out in the market to take half kg rice. So what we have at our home is the operational storage. We pull out from it on a daily basis needs. So same way we can say the pipelines that we have across India, the likes of GAIL and GSPL, IOCL, they have built, all that is a part of operational storage. Because the molecule now they inject in Dahej, but we get in Delhi, that molecule it is not the same molecule, but the pipeline is always charged. So the thing is practically every pipeline with specifications, with diameters, it has a safe bearing capacity of how much pressure it can take. So besides the normal gas demand, normal gas consumption, GAIL can inject more gas than demand, and which is called as line pack, and that gas can be in a compressed form in the pipeline, and it can be withdrawn during high demand times as well. So that is a part of operational storage. Our LNG terminals are also a part of operational storage because they have to be churned around, right? So 52 million tons is what we have. We used 27 million tons last year around, so 50% capacity we utilized. So we can inject the liquid molecule in the storage tank, and then we keep utilizing it on a daily basis when we have. So it's a part of operational storage. But strategic storage is like something, we have a safe locker somewhere and we go to it, 3-4 times in a year, and we pull out our stuff and replenish that stuff in the locker. So that structure is basically in the storage domain. These are underground reserves. We'll discuss about them. So depleted reservoirs can be used, what ONGC represents. We can make artificial reservoirs also, which can be leaching out salt from underground, taking the water from water bodies underground and making it an aquifer reservoir as well. So just to showcase something in layman terms, the various storage options available are salt caverns, mines can be used, aquifers are the water bodies, depleted reservoirs, even rock caverns can be used, hard-lined caverns. So several countries have invested in such infrastructure across the world. I'll give you a glimpse of that. Below is just a typical gas storage site of Gazprom, the Russian company. So now if you see why should we have a strategic reserve or strategic storage, all the bullet points on the left hand side, if you see, now we are reflecting upon all these points. We want insurance against unforeseen accident. Yes, we have it now. We want to avoid price volatility. Yes, we have it now. Changes in the gas demands. Yes, our gas demand will not wait for Hormuz to get sorted out, but we have to meet those demands. Same way, production. E&P cannot match the demand on a daily basis. They also have fluctuating production cycles. Demand also is fluctuating. So how to layer it? How to in a way that you level it at a even thing. So you need those reserves as well. Speculations, a lot of speculation. Information, misinformation, disinformation. This is all a part of speculation as well. So these reserves helps in market speculation times as well. So the flow in the pipeline systems, if the line pack is less, line pack is more, heating demand, cooling demand, other things. And contractual balances also at times have to be met. So all these things, at least now we are talking about, we can leave the right hand side part, the theory part, but all those points are utilized to manage, the absolute purpose of a natural gas storage infrastructure. So it is a hardcore infrastructure. When we talk about storage, just visualize it's an underground infrastructure, a reserve, and let us say you can easily reflect upon the depleted gas reservoirs. So they have lived out their life. All the economically possible oil or gas has been taken out. Any further attempt might yield gas, but highly uneconomical. So at that time, we leave the gas reserves as such, but they are empty. All the pipeline infrastructure is there, compressors are there, Christmas trees, everything is there. we can now do a reverse cycle, inject natural gas back in the depleted gas reservoirs. They are a ready-made body which can absorb gas. They can provide you huge volumes of gas reservoir. So this can be utilized in a short time. You don't need to create anything artificial, and consider the impact. You reserve very high volumes in such reservoirs. But at the same time, some gas has to be there which will be lost in the porosity and permeability things. Some gas will be required which will maintain some basic pressure to operate that reservoir. Some gas you can take out. So out of the entire volume, some gas will be lost permanently. Some is required to maintain a basic pressure. Some gas you can recycle, seasonally or cyclically. So there are definitions which are technically available. So total gas in the storage structure, cushion gas, working gas, recoverable and non-recoverable gas. Just imagine that, as a structure which can give you gas at periodic cycles, but some gas will be lost permanently as well. Now, some structures can give you high volume and low withdrawal rates. Some can give you small volumes, but very high replenishment rates as well. So gas reservoir, as I was talking, the most economically attractive thing to do in strategic reserve, because it is readily available with all the infrastructure, all the pipelines, and the connections even till downstream and to the end customers. But the thing is, the cushion gas which is required to maintain adequate pressure to utilize the well structure, it is 50%, very high. You use them in annual cycles of 1 or 2 cycles per year, given the high volumes they have. So that is a typical reservoir which has run out of its age and life, and we can use that again as a storage. Incidentally, the positioning of screen is such that the panelist cannot see. Sorry for that. If I can use my. Then is the aquifers, which is basically water flowing underground, and we can take out the water and create a structure, which is again, this is an artificial structure, and we can take out water and then we create a huge volume, huge void, huge space is available that we can use to store gas. Now in this, you would not need gas to maintain pressure, because the pressure will be maintained by the equipments operating on the reservoir. So, but the thing is, porosity, permeability might still be applicable, because it is, again, a natural structure. So the requirements of natural gas to maintain adequate pressure or cushion gas would be still much more, which is 80%. So the recoverable gas is only 20% in aquifers. Bit expensive to make, but yes, this is still one of the possibilities that can be looked about. And there are some structures available globally which use aquifers. Salts. You go to Kutch area, Rajasthan area, there can also be salt deposits available underground. You take out the salt, so that vacuum place is available. You line it properly, so you have a structure in which you can store literally anything. It could be liquid molecule, it could be natural gas as well. Salt formations can be used to store natural gas. We have such structures available globally as well. And this, they can provide you quick turnaround, quick churn out of the gas, quick filling, and quick takeout, but the volumes available will be less compared to a depleted reservoir, because that is, the essential thing from which we take out gas throughout the years. But a salt formation can give you multiple cycles across the year. Just a comparison, if you see the cushion gas, that is the gas required to maintain adequate pressure, is much more in depleted reservoirs, but they are easy to set up. Cushion gas is less in salt formations, but the gas volumes that you can utilize are less. So you would need multiple salt formations gas reserves across the country, and I think 1 or 2 depleted reservoirs are good enough to provide a good cushion to us. So injection period will be much more in a reservoir compared to a salt formation, and same way the withdrawal period will be much more in a reservoir, but withdrawal period can be less in a salt formation. So, repeated seasonal peaks we can meet through salt formations, or any global volatility also we can meet through salt formations in gas reservoirs. Some reservoirs can provide a consistent withdrawal, which is called base load. So the depleted reservoirs are suited for that thing. We call them base load storages. Some provide us instant spiky gas output of some reservoirs, so we call as peak load storage structures as well, so in which the salt caverns are very useful. Reservoirs provide you a consistent output. So because in the reservoirs or in the oil wells that ONGC is working on, you cannot simply, enhance the production of oil and gas. It has to be very consistent. Otherwise, all the pressure system, that will blow out. So that is a base servicing of your demand you're doing. Same way, depleted reservoirs give you base load storage. Just a categorization to understand, how they behave and operate differently. There are some other avenues available despite these conventional storage. Chilled salt formations can hold natural gas in the form of cryogenics or liquid. More volumes can be there. Granite stones can be used. Rock caverns can be used. I think we have a LPG rock cavern storage. Hydrates can also use a lot of volumes in them for gas reserves. Now I should show you the global picture, having talked about certain technical things. Across the world we have, I'll tell you the number, we have available gas reserves across all the continents. India is colored in this as a part of Asia, but in Asia we only have in China. So you talk about Canada, US, lot of countries in Europe, Australia, Middle East have a reservoir based system, and all the categories are available. You talk about aquifers, reservoir, rock cavern. Every facility is available across the world, which means, as we were talking earlier, barring India, countries have thought about it and invested in gas reserves. And today they are pulling out more gas from their reserves than whatever they can source from Qatar or UAE. So that is the cushion these reserves provide us. Okay, I'll just wind up. Yeah. So yes. So just to showcase the countries, given the number of facilities they have, I'll go a bit quick. So India has petroleum reserves, but no gas reserves, and we are expanding petroleum reserves as well. Even the petroleum reserves would not add up to 90 days capacity that we are talking about. Only 7 or 9.5 days we have. Gas storage is a part of mandate of PNGRB, which is about what they have to do. And there have been a lot of news about what PNGRB and other stakeholders have been talking about in India for gas reserves. There's a lot of talks. Yes, we need some budgets, and we can set them up. So relevant companies are in discussions: ONGC, Oil, GAIL. Just to showcase some developments globally, Europe adopted a gas storage regulation a few years back when the LNG prices spiked up. This is the recent global development. Now Europe is again talking about gas storage because of all the Hormuz activity. And this is now talk in India. This is the last slide. So the government stakeholders are saying that yes, now we should talk about gas storage activities. So I leave it more with a food for thought than a concrete step, but yes, it is possible and doable activity. India should invest in that. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Actually, I was also thinking about myself, why in India the underground gas storage has not happened so far. Why? Just keep it ready. Towards the end, I would like to get the answer from you, because you told that the depleted field is one option, salt cavern is one option, rock cavern is one option. With all the options, is it the affordability? Is it the price sensitivity? Is it the weather fluctuation? Whether it is the technology support required? Whether it is the indigenous technology not available? What are the reasons that you feel that why India has not done the underground storage so far? Not now, but towards the end we would like to know from you.
Right.
Sir, this liquefied natural gas, all gas.
Normal gas.
Normal gas occupies 600 times more volume than liquid gas.
Yes.
So where is the space in India, considering our...
Who will become? He told very, he will answer, we will go to the answer of depleted field where the gas has come from, that will be injected back. Sir, please give me half a minute. The underground depleted field which has, the gas has been taken out from, can be filled. This is number one option. The salt cavern, by leaching process, you can take that salt out and you can make a huge kind of reservoir there which is already there in the globe. Third is that rock cover. All will be in the gaseous form, not in the form. That is what. But why it has not done so far, we would like to and love to know from him. What is the real facts of the matter? Why India has not been done so far? Whether it is affordability, whether it is basically whether yes, sir. We will. If he is ready, he can answer.
Even the advanced country, they are also thinking now.
And if the availability is there at the ground.
Yes. As per the last report,
I think this is the one question that we love.
The answer could be a combined panelist.
Oh yes, as is all right. Because we have got some bit of
Appreciate it. Yes.
but we love
I
to know.
appreciate all of you.
Sure. Thank you. Great that you have made it a slightly interactive more than now. Mr. Praveen Agarwal, he is a citizen, marketing as well as O&M person in about 36 years. So he would like to touch upon, what actually the resilience talk about. We have heard about resilience. हमने धक्का मार दिया, वापस आ गया, वापस normalcy आ गया, business continuity, हमने continue कर रहा. What exactly, as per you, the resilience during this VUCA era actually mean by you? Or if you can take any other, sub-theme to cover it as per your own experience. We would love to know the experience of the person who has actually handled the cases.
Okay, thank you, HG Chambers of Commerce for inviting me. So I'll take both the things, discuss both the things. So resilience, I'll tell you, one of the reasons in natural gas we were so resilient till now, and I'll give you some examples. Like COVID came, there was fire in one of the very important pipelines which were coming from offshore. So that also happened, and there were many such scenarios which happened, but India was able to pass through all of them. So one of the reasons is that what India has done is that we have diversified our supplies from various countries. So Middle East, Russia, some part of it from USA, and we also have done contracts from some of the portfolio managers. So what they do is they bring gas from all across the world. We also have offices in Singapore and in USA, and we try, like last week I was in Singapore and I was meeting my team, and they were telling that they were able to source gas from across the world. And they have such connections that anywhere anybody is ready to sell LNG, they will talk to Indian team first, and if we want to buy at that price, they will sell it to us, otherwise it will go to some other countries. And one of the reasons, of course, is that we have, as a country, we have very good relationship with others. Now I'll maybe give you some examples. So COVID came, and suddenly in the evening, it was said that the lockdown has started. 8 p.m. We came to know the lockdown has started, and next day morning we understood that now things will be difficult. The CNG supply came down to 20% of the earlier supply. And so one, that as he was mentioning, the pipeline has some cushion. Pipeline has line pack, there is some cushion available. And the LNG plants, all of them, LNG regasification plants, they have some storage. So that option is also there. But this event was so huge that even a lot of factories stopped. And we didn't want to stop the wells. So all these offshore wells, all those places, if you once stop the supply, then it is difficult to get the supply back from them. So we were to make sure that that supply comes. So few things we did. Some of the things what we did was that we sent the ships back. We started selling gas to Europe. So whatever supplies were coming from outside the world, that we diversified, we sold to other countries. And whatever gas was coming within India, we started overnight the power plants. So all those power plants, NTPC power plants and other power plants which were not working at that point of time, we told them. So while the COVID, lockdown was on, we were moving. So on the background, all those who were in gas field, we were all working overnight, and all the round the clock, and all these plants were restarted so that the consumption starts. And the reverse happened when there was a cut off from main ONGC field. So there was a pipe fire, I think in 2021. So supply suddenly stopped. And then also we had to make sure that it continues, the consumption continues. And then at that point of time, we bought a lot of more gas from other countries and sustained it. So resilience will come when we have diversification, right? And so now coming back to this sustainable transition and resilience, I believe that as a country, we have to diversify into various kinds of energy segments, right? So I normally, divide it into two parts. One is electrons, and the other one is molecules. So electron parts, electricity, that is solar, wind, small hydro, maybe sometimes they take nuclear plants also as renewables. So all these things, the electron parts, we have to diversify into all of them. And in renewable molecules, we have to, solid, liquids, and gas. Solid is whatever the biomass, briquettes are there, and various options are there. Liquid, already ethanol, we are working very well. 20% ethanol has been, replacing petrol in future. Sustainable aviation fuel will be coming. And the third one is gas. Gas part is also equally important, as a matter of very important. Why? Because gas means natural gas, as well as in future CBG. The compressed biogas, that is renewable, right? So compressed biogas uses 2G. What is 2G? 2G is waste, so food waste. So suppose there is a plant from where you are getting wheat. So wheat will be edible, remaining part is waste. Parali, for example, is waste. So that parali will be used for gaseous, production of gas. For ethanol, food is being used. For example, they are using sugar cane for making ethanol. So food is being used, while for gas, all 2G is being used. So 2G is almost waste. So city waste, all bio waste, all the parali kind of waste, everything can be used in biogas.
We call it residues now, no longer waste.
Yes, so it is residue, and it is earning a lot of money for the farmers. It will be, in future, it will become very important. So first of all, from the resilience point of view, I want to put across this, that we should not consider only the electricity part, electron part as renewables. This part is equally important, the molecular part, right? And within that also, we should see whichever is using 2G or 3G or 4G things. So whatever waste is coming, or the word which you used, residue. So residues from sea, from rivers, so residue from water bodies, or from earth. So from all these places, these residues will be there, which can be converted to gas. And gas is very good. Why gas is very good? Because gas is methane. And methane, when you burn it, it becomes CO2 and H2O. So H2O is water. CO2 is not part of AQI. If you look at the list of AQI components, CO2 is not there. So as much as gas you burn, your AQI will not increase. In Delhi city, for example, we see a lot of AQI going up because of maybe parali burning, and also because of a lot of industrial pollution. But if you use gas, natural gas is also mostly methane or some part of methane. Why gas doesn't produce CO2, doesn't produce CO, is because gas, being gas, it contains a lot of surface area, and because it has a lot of surface area, all the molecules are burnt out. So because all the molecules, so reaction is full, complete. So that is why CO2 is made. Unlike in other cases, some CO will be made. In coal, for example, some carbon will be there, right? But in gas, CO2 will be there. So gas is a solution for polluted cities. And I have also represented it to the PNGRB also several times, also wrote a letter to Chief Minister of UP also. I am also chairman of a company called Central UP Gas Limited. So because of that, I was able to write to these guys. So I've been telling them that it is very important to propagate natural gas, and work on biogas very fast. GAIL has come up with a scheme called CBG CGD Synchro scheme, which was made by our team, and government has now extended that scheme to 2047, and almost all the plants of India, they are coming on this scheme, and it is a very good scheme. What it does is that wherever in India you make biogas, GAIL will buy it and will sell it to the local city gas distribution company. And everywhere, entire India has been distributed to 307 GAs. So everywhere, wherever you put your finger, it will be under some GA. You put your plant, GAIL will buy it and sell it to them. And the GAIL's scheme is very, good for both of them.
So thank you, Pravir-ji, for covering the sustainable transition. What is one of the theme actually? I tried to cover enterprise risk management to some extent. You have covered sustainable transition. Underground gas storage has been already covered by Mr. Tanuj, and you have talked about waste to energy and circular economy towards. But now I'll go to Mr. Arindam Mitra, who is from IGX, and there are for gas-based economy, or what we are thinking about, there has to be some support of the policy, support of the system, ecosystem. And there are digital era, there are platforms available, and IGX is notably one of the main gas platform where you can sell and trade the gas business. So Mr. Arindam, can you elaborate to the audience that is there any distinction between big company, small company, MSME, who is getting either advantage or not advantage while coming to your platform, or it is equitable to all of them? Number one. Number two, how you see the progress of IGX, how it is likely to take place in near future with so many uncertainties, so many changes happening all across. Because power is power. Whether it is renewable, whether it is, from non-fossil fuel or from the fossil fuel, you are ultimately, selling the power. But for your case, it is a gas exchange that is, passing the molecules. So can you elaborate these two things? What is the position likelihood for the IGX as a platform enabling factor for the gas-based economy, and how you see that small, big, medium company all are, take part equally in your system?
Thank you for the question, and thanks to phdcci for having me here. IGX as a platform, we are a gas exchange. It's a digital platform where buyers and sellers, as rightly put by sir, buyers and sellers can transact gas. The value that we bring in, or the benefit of buying or selling gas on exchange is the ease and the flexibility. Generally, if we see the conventional way the gas business runs, if you want to procure gas, if a big company wants to procure gas or a medium company wants to procure gas, it has to initiate some sort of a tendering process, ask for quotes, it has to evaluate those quotes, award the tender, get into agreement, submit BGs, LCs. So in the fastest possible scenario, this almost takes about 4 to 5 days. On exchange, the platform is such that whenever you require gas, you can float your requirement, or you can place your bids on the exchange platform itself. The buyers or sellers, whoever it may be, and the counterparties will respond with the counter bids. So if you are a seller and you want to sell gas, you place your offer on the exchange in terms of your quantity, in terms of your price that you are willing to offer. And if the buyers are willing to buy, or buyers are it's affordable price for the buyers, they will respond. So what this has done eventually is this has reduced the time between the intention to procure and the commencement and supplies. So now if you want, you can get the volumes delivered on the same day itself. You think that you need gas today, you can get the same delivered in your plant today itself by procuring gas on exchange. So we have developed different kinds of contracts, and one of the contracts that I have just spoken about is an intraday contract, where the trade and the deliveries happen on the same day. So the promptness with which you can actually procure gas, that is something that was missing, and that exchange has brought forth. Another form is that exchange has almost included all delivery points, important delivery points in the countries in terms of the LNG terminals, RLNG terminals, and the domestic gas fields. So all the places where gas is being produced or gas is coming in liquid form, all those delivery points are designated at exchange, so you can buy. We already have a very diverse clientele. We have more than 52 members. So in terms of offerings, like we were talking about LNG, one of our esteemed panelists spoke about micro LNG. So yes, we also acknowledge that though we have a good network of around 25,000 kilometers, but there are still some pockets of the country which are not connected to the networks, and they are still have to operate on some sort of small scale LNG. So we have introduced, other than gas, we have introduced some small scale LNG contracts also, where the buyers can get the LNGs loaded in their trucks from the terminals and get it regasified at the terminals, at their facilities. So I think the small buyers, big buyers, we have kept a lot size 50 MMBTU. This is the minimum lot size that can be traded on exchange. So 50 MMBTU per se is around 1200, 1300 SCMD. So we have kept it small. So even if someone who is a big consumer but requires a small gas in that point in time, can actually transact on exchange with ease and flexibility. We have initiated different, or you have started with different types of contracts where the tenures are different, where from 1 day and the width is, or the range is from 1 day you can procure up to 1 year. So that sort of flexibility is there with the market, with the ease that you have. You don't need to get into all the paperwork and all these things, because we are already having the membership and the risk management system. So we were discussing about the risk part. So we have a very very strong risk management system. We have a margining system, because for exchange the risk is that when people trade on exchange and they don't honor the trade, that is a perceivable risk for us. So we have a very strong margining system. We have a strong risk management system in place. We have a very strong membership system, a process in place where when we onboard members, we take care of a lot of things. So I think these are the things that exchange has brought into the market, and all the bigger players, medium-sized producers, industries, traders, marketeers, you name it, and we have all the big players associated with us.
Thank you, Mr. Arindam. You have given again a very insightful information. Here just one question that was coming in my mind again. When you run the platform for an equitable basis, do you feel that there is any hacking, there is any cyber security related that risk it might come, and you are prepared for? That will give you the business continuity plan with a kind of plan A, plan B system. Do you have any risk management system which is inbuilt and solid, and it will not touch even your close to your system?
No, we have a very strong IT team, and who is actually looking at it, and the way we have operated 5 years, we have developed a lot of processes in place, and we have evolved, and we have taken care of these things.
Okay. So that means we are pretty sure that the IT/OT system is very strong with respect to the security as well as cyber security point of view. Now, one thing, Mr. Arindam, you touched upon that your system can be utilized with LNG and micro LNG and small LNG also. When I was talking with Mr. Avinav Arora some time back, he was very passionate about the small scale and micro scale LNG. Is there anything coming up after the Galileo plant that was built by GAIL in somewhere? Is there any other future plants coming?
Yeah, right now it's not coming up. It's not coming up because the process of plants coming up is through tender based TSU. So someone in the morning talked of changing the policy and the process during the first session. There are, I was just going through some internet required details. I saw that people in Japan, Norway, in other countries, they're already using it in international markets, such things. So just taking it out, the printouts in this thing. China, Norway, United States, Indonesia already using it. So the technologies are available and getting developed. It's a matter that PSU adopt it or change it wherever the gas is not possible, and to de-risk it with LPG and to swap it. It all depends on the policy.
So, but again, why to only depend on the PSU? My natural question would be that let some private player come in picture and take care of that small scale LNG also, if it is a business sense to them.
True. Ultra gas, if we talk of SR, Ruya Group, they already came into this one, but the quantum, which the investment can take place is always through PSU nowadays. They came, they were planning some 100 plus gas stations, but I hardly 4 or 5 came up in Western Coast.
Good. Again, some updates that we have got. Mr. Tanuj, are you ready with the questions? Just to give one more thing. One is that the question was asked. You want to say right now? Okay. Okay, sir. He has one question in his mind. Let him come.
This you say aligning the hydrocarbon sector with Atmanirbhar Bharat and net zero countries.
Oh yes.
So my question is, see, we are talking of a lot of things about gas only. Do you think anything is being considered for biodiesel and also isobutanol, which is a part of alcohol, 5% blending in the diesel of alcohol?
That question was asked, 1 or 2 sessions before.
I asked.
Yes,
It will come in the
but
next
fortunately, unfortunately, this session does not cover that ethanol part. However, we will try to address that. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. Sir, please, sir. Sir.
PNG connection 1.4 CR. For the last more than 15 years, we reach only 1.4 CR in the domestic connection. With this speed, we need, this GAIL needs more than 50 years to cover half of the population. Thank you.
No. So let me answer that. So what has happened is initially the growth was small because what was happening is that these GAs were allocated only along the pipelines. So wherever the pipelines were there, the GAs were allocated to the companies. Then what happened? GAIL came up with policies called Case 1, Case 2, Case 3, Case 4 and Case 5. Through which what GAIL did was that the molecular swapping of costlier gases was allowed through ministerial approval. So what that means is that in Innor, for example, if IOCL has a LNG terminal where gas is available at $15, GAIL will swap that gas and a local GA can get that gas at $6.5. And GAIL will get this gas at $15 in the other, the main line or whatever. So through this molecular swapping, all the CBM, all the locations wherever CBM was available, wherever LNG was available, wherever all these staggered, discovered gas fields were available across India, all those were monetized. Whichever were possible, wherever even $6.5 gas was, anybody was ready to take. Because of these schemes, the entire country, even places which are very far away from the pipeline, they are able to operate because they get gas at $6.5. What it means is that in Delhi, for example, if you're getting gas at 77 rupees, from the same station, if another company takes this gas, they will get it at 36 rupees per kg. From the same station where a vehicle is being filled at 77, the other company will get it at a base price, plus the compression charges or whatever. So idea is that every company gets domestic priced gas even when they are not connected with the pipeline. So now what has happened is, instead of those 5, 6, 10, 20 GAs, now there are 307 GAs. So number of GAs has multiplied tenfold. Now all of them are working parallelly, including out of that almost 72 GAs are with GAIL and GAIL JVs. So the growth has become very fast. So it will go very fast in future.
Just want to add here.
Please.
Like LPG, there are 4 different companies. Okay. In the PNG, what do you think? Maybe I'm wrong. Just correct me. Some other competitors should not come in this.
So they're already there now.
The
Almost
PNG.
in PNG,
Yeah,
40.
GAIL is the monopoly of.
No. There are 40 companies. There is GAIL, there is Adani, there is Torrent. Indian Oil has made a JV with Adani, for example. AGNP is there.
But Delhi, we are seeing only one company, the GAIL.
No. Delhi IGL is there. But otherwise, across India, now there are 307 GAs. Out of that, only 72 GAs are with GAIL and GAIL.
Last question.
Yeah, please.
This PM said the Varanasi should be the PNG adopted city.
Yes.
Okay, LPG free city.
Yes.
It should be mandatory. Law should be there. Some regulation, circular should be there. In Delhi, my house is having the PNG, another house is having the LPG. So some regulation should be there. Yes, city, how the city can be become the PNG or
So already the policy,
some regulation should be there.
some policy has already
this
come.
City line is there, so everyone must have this PNG. Thank you.
Right. So, I just want to close it with this, that already government is working on that. They don't want to make it compulsory. They want to make it, lucrative. So that is why they have come up with some scheme. They will give some money also from their side if you are converting. And cost also, what they have tried to do is they have given more than 100% allocation to PNG. So if a company, for example, IGL or Torrent, they want to sell PNG, they will be given more than 100% of their sale, of last 3 months sale, if they are selling in PNG. So that is the best they can do. So very cheap gas is being given to these companies so that they are able to convert more people, and some monetary benefit is also being given already, and some more is planned. And you might have read in news that already many people have given up LPG connection. They are converting to PNG. And Varanasi, for example, GAIL and other teams, they are working overnight to convert to PNG. So a lot of work is going on. Other states are also working. But having said that, you must remember that all this PNG, this part of this PNG is only domestic. Otherwise, a lot of gas is still being bought. So that has to be replaced with biogas in future. So with time, biogas has to take center stage. Then only we will become Atmanirbhar.
Actually, it is connecting the dots actually by the first point that was also told by the Mr. A.K. Tiwari ji. Just 1 second, sir. 1 second, sir. 1 second, sir. Please give me, please tell me.
You remember, my name is Ashwini from One Infinite. You remember you just asked a question to Mr. Tanuj?
Yes.
And the solution should be given by all panelists.
Okay.
With the combination all together.
Okay.
And I think that was very interesting question. It's very excited,
Yeah.
And that will be very engagement for all of us.
Thank you very much for accepting the question I was posed actually to him. You wanted to say something? Now what you are saying, I will also just come to that. That every panelist, if they have got some bit of experience on this particular area, they should also address that. So my question again, I'm just repeating. Why in India the underground gas storage has not been built so far? It could be because of the affordability, because of the price sensitivity in India like country, because of the weather fluctuation may not be that high compared to the European countries, because when I landed Serbia in Belgrade, I was thinking I'm landing on the ocean. Actually it was ice all aside except for the runway. So that is how the temperature fluctuation happens, because of the temperature weather change is not that high compared to the European country, or because of the technology support we are not going to get immediately from the indigenous sources or indigenous within country technology available with respect to depleted field. It has got its own advantages, disadvantages. Salt cavern has also got its own advantages and disadvantages that we also captured. And rock cavern also got its huge gestation period to prepare and sealing and all these things. With all this information already available, you just tell us why it has not done so far in India.
He has given me a easy question, but 6 options.
Yeah, I think attempting a difficult topic in a heavy conference has its own demerits as well. So I'm in a tough corner now. But yes, coming to strategic reserve. So the word is strategic, and as a country, I think India has positioned itself in a manner that strategic assets have to be managed by the government companies. So if it comes to depleted reservoir, ONGC becomes the owner. GAIL can do the infrastructure part of it and manage it. If it is salt cavern, then of course, we can have a combination or a JV of ONGC, GAIL, GSPL like that. But the thing is, when it comes to government, even the government companies are wary of, who will bear these heavy costs on their books. Government companies are instructed by the government to give good dividends. So who will bear this cost as a capex? Why? Because there is no revenue model from gas storage as such, which has been, and it needs to be discussed. This was technical model, economic model needs to be worked out. And then, in India, I feel conventionally we are more happy managing the operations and augmentation than investing into some strategic things. That's how, extending railway lines took a long time in Kashmir, or even opening up nuclear defense took a lot of time. We have been very cautious by our psyche as well. And if we give strategic reserves to private companies, then, pricing and managing will again be a question. Then another aspect is we build strategic reserves to store gas. That gas will come from imported LNG, which means 60% of that gas has to be permanently forgotten as a cushion gas or unrecoverable gas. So we are importing LNG at $10, $12, which we still pinch. It pinches us giving fertilizer subsidies now. So why to do that for a storage asset, and who will bear that cost? So it is a sink cost from the Indian perspective as of now. And if we give it, into some other hands, so private hands, it becomes gas as a service. It has to go down in the downstream tariff. PNGRB has to act on it. Somebody has to bear that tariff of the capex as well. So everybody, you and me, everybody is alike. We are very sensitive to even 25 paisa cost hike in our electricity tariff. So imagine something going down into our gas tariff, PNG ka bill बढ़ जाएगा. Who will take that responsibility? Elections, everything. So I think given that strategic angle and taking that ownership and making an economic model out of it is a difficulty. Otherwise, we have huge landmass. Sites are available. I showed them in the presentation. It is doable.
Let us see that other viewpoint. Any viewpoint on this strategic storage? Why, sir? Just to tell you, sir. The question was that why India has not built any underground gas storage till date. What could be the possibility? Possibility could be that affordability, the price sensitivity, the weather fluctuation is not that high. Technological support, indigenous technology is not available in a very reasonable. And lastly, what is said is the various stakeholders' involvement with the cost of the storage and its operating cost loaded to the downstream consumer. That is, you are actually trying to cover it up in one sentence, that the operating cost, storage cost, who will bear, and how sensitivity analysis can tell us, okay, this is the kind of price that can be derived, and it is when there is a kind of exigency, any kind of uncertainty, this price matches with that particular time frame, price that we are now buying from other countries. Anything on just I know that this is going to be a very huge discussion. Just ROI, return on the investment. Yes, you are true. Please.
Let's have quick fire round with all panelists in
I
one line.
I love to do that.
Thank
provided
you.
the time permits. Provided the time permits.
Only 2 minutes. One line from all panelists on this question.
I'm okay with that.
Thank you.
Just before going to the other side of the table, we would definitely give a chance to our panelists, those who have got their own experience in this particular field.
Yes. So this question has been there with us for last 20, 30 years. Okay, as GAIL. I was sent to Denmark in 1990 when I joined GAIL. After that, 1 year after that, I was sent there. And there they had gas caverns. What they did was, near the sea, they had salt. Okay. So what they did was, on one end, they put water from sea itself, and the other end, they put in the pump to take out the water. And in 6 months, that hole was made, and that they use as a gas cavern. So it was not very costly as such, right? But now, having said that, it took 6 months and huge space it was carved out. So that I had seen myself in 1990. It was ready. They were using it. One of the reasons was as the weather was very important for them, and they were. So that question remained with us for last 30 years. Now, as he was saying, almost 50-60% of gas has to be kept there, unused. That is one. Second thing, as you said, ROI. At that point of time, the cost of one such gas cavern was around 1,200 crores. So now, I don't know what will be the cost of sizable gas cavern. It will be more than that, definitely, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 or 5,000 crores, right? And I tried to make case several times that it will be beneficial as a company. So when a country thinks about it, country has to not think about it in terms of ROI, right? Only. So it has to be strategic gas reserve. But from a company perspective, ROI never came because we were not able to justify that we will buy cheap only and we will sell costly only. So it was difficult. Another reason was that our pipeline can hold almost 475 mmSCMD of MMSCM of gas line pack, which is almost equivalent to 7 ships, 7 cargoes, okay? And there is a buffer of 2-3 cargoes there. So it is almost, so now it has become huge. So this was another reason. Third reason was that at all these LNG terminals, there are storages. And that storage is very useful because they're not wasting anything. The cargo comes, one tank is equivalent to 1 cargo. So in Dahej, for example, they have 5 such tanks. So cargo comes now 8. So they expanded to 8. So 8 such storage tanks, and each one will store 1 cargo, and that will be very good, and that is there already, right? So and there they are not incurring any wasteful expenditure. That is also part of operational management. So that was another reason. It was thought more prudent to add such things, and that is one of the reasons GAIL made this KLL, this Konkan LNG Limited. We bought it and then we made it 24 years operational thing. We spent money there so that storage can be used, it becomes all weather, and there is that storage can be used around the year. It becomes buffer for the country and the company, both, right? So now, but having said that, if now there are some models where ROI comes, if you are able to spend 4,000, 5,000 crore rupees just for storage, and if ROI comes, then it should be there. I always believe that there should be some gas storages, underground storages, if it is possible. But yeah, huge investment.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell,
Please.
We have to. That's okay. So in a nutshell, we have to understand the process. We have to understand the ROI, and in how much time it will come back. Who will be the stakeholders, and much more.
Yeah.
So let's give a round of applause for our panelists and PhD. Thank you so much, all of you.
Hello, I'm Yash Malik, ex-ONGC. I've dealt with this earlier in my, if you look at oil's underground storage, any international model, it is not operated by public sectors, except in Korea. And for gas, if you are studying, I don't know, you are not showing Nagore. Nagore limestone was the tested model. Again, in oil, who will put oil there? Billions of dollars. So ADNOC was brought, and it is ADNOC who has a share there. For gas, you should not say public. It should be private.
Sorry, sir. I told that part also, that we should not stick to only public. It should be public, private. Anybody who can make a model which can be self-sustained, that is fine for the country. There is no other.
In case of LNG, you are spending additional $3 for liquefying and then gasifying. Who is going to bear that?
Yeah.
It is only for a company who has excess of LNG at some point. can look up.
And they can sell it at a very higher price than the storage cost or the operating cost. That's all.
Don't look for public sector to.
Yeah. Thank you again for your additional information that we have just now received, and we will see what are the different options and how it can actually work. Technologically, you are right. Actually, it is possible to absorb. CO2 can be absorbed in some of the chemical where it can be. Yeah. Oh yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you for. Yeah. Any other points? Otherwise, we will tell Madam to. I must tell you, sir, at the end of 6 o'clock in the evening today, the room is full with so much of interaction, sir. I will
and so
just
much of energy
tell that
as well.
I made a promise. I did not tell that. I made a promise to PhD chamber. I will try to make it a different conversation altogether. And thank you for your support as well. As otherwise, it would have not happened that way that we were thinking. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And a big round of applause to our panelists and our moderator, and to all of you for being here. I'll request Dr. Jitendra Singh, sir, DSG, PhD, CCI, to kindly present mementos to our esteemed panelists. Thanking Mr. M.K. Biswas, sir, for moderating it so well and for being another support for the PhD chamber. I'll invite all of you for tea, which is down the hall in the foyer after this. Thanking Shri Abhinav Arora, Shri Tanuj Sharma, Shri Praveen Kumar Agarwal, and Shri Arindam Mitra, sir. Thank you so much. And I'll request the panelists for a group photograph and Rupesh to join in, please, and then give the vote of thanks as well. Thank you. Group photograph.
Distinguished panelists, speakers, all the delegates coming from the oil and gas industry. From the afternoon today, we were keep trying to discuss about India's energy security, and we had a good deliberation from the afternoon to till now. And I think this is a great honor to organize this summit in such a difficult time where this kind of deliberations really required. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to our partners, HAL Offshore, Unnati, IGX, our chief guest joined today, Sri A.K. Tiwari sir, Sri Anjan Kumar Mishra sir, and all the distinguished panelists prior to this technical session. Thank you once again. Thanks to media team and all the distinguished delegates, our team, Bhavna ji, Harshita, Manju ji, Naveen Chaturvedi ji, and everyone. Thank you very much.
Inviting all the delegates and our panelists for tea, which is just down the hall on the left, please. Thank you very much.